Red Bull got me hyped up. Yup, I'm going crazy up in the studio. Yo, D, pass me some Red Bull.
I got Red Bull in my cup, yeah. Red Bull in my cup, yeah. Red Bull in my cup, yeah. Red Bull in my cup. I got Red Bull in my cup, yeah. Red Bull in my cup, yeah. Red Bull in my cup. I got Red Bull in my cup. I got Red Bull in my cup, yeah. Red Bull in my cup, yeah. Red Bull in my cup. I got Red Bull in my cup. Red Bull in my cup, yeah. Red Bull in my cup. I got Red Bull in my cup, yeah. I got Red Bull in my cup.
Yeah, I got my Red Bull in my cup and I'm hyped up. I don't mix the syrup in it, if I did I'd be slowed up. I don't mess with sugar free cause I like the head rush. They call me Stack Stingo cause I'm making your girl blush. Snapbacks, all I wear is snapbacks. All I drink is Red Bull and haters can step back. Top to top, head back, let's finish the cup. Got my red silver cup filled to the top and that's what's up. You can throw away that monster and that rock stuff too. If you ain't drinking that Red Bull then you're looking like a fool. I'm colder than a freezer and I'm hot like the sun. I think I need some more Red Bull to cool off my lungs.
I got Red Bull in my cup, yeah. Red Bull in my cup, yeah. Red Bull in my cup, yeah. Red Bull in my cup. I got Red Bull in my cup, yeah. Red Bull in my cup, yeah. Red Bull in my cup. I got Red Bull in my cup. I got Red Bull in my cup, yeah. Red Bull in my cup, yeah. Red Bull in my cup. I got Red Bull in my cup. Red Bull in my cup, yeah. Red Bull in my cup. I got Red Bull in my cup. I got Red Bull in my cup.
Like a boss, yeah, I'm trippy, man. I'm drinking so much Red Bull, I think I might go insane. Yeah, I might go insane, I'm tripping on you haters. I got so much Red Bull like Baskin Robbins got flavors. I got work, my Red Bull look like that perp. I'm posted up at Seb's and I mix it with the slurp. I be drinking that Red Bull 24/7. Buy it at the gas station 7-Eleven. Got my gravy on and I got the Red Bull in my hand. I'm spitting fire on the microphone, you know that I'm the man. Yeah, you heard it right, cause I told you I'm the man. So do yourself a favor and pick up a Red Bull can.
I got Red Bull in my cup, yeah. Red Bull in my cup, yeah. Red Bull in my cup, yeah. Red Bull in my cup. I got Red Bull in my cup, yeah. Red Bull in my cup, yeah. Red Bull in my cup. I got Red Bull in my cup. I got Red Bull in my cup, yeah. Red Bull in my cup, yeah. Red Bull in my cup. I got Red Bull in my cup. Red Bull in my cup, yeah. Red Bull in my cup. I got Red Bull in my cup. I got Red Bull in my cup, yeah.
We're no strangers to love. You know the rules, and so do I. A full commitment's what I'm thinking of. You wouldn't get this from any other guy. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you, never gonna make you cry, never gonna say goodbye, never gonna tell a lie and hurt you. We've known each other for so long. Your heart's been aching, but you're too shy to say it. Inside we both know what's been going on. We know the game and we're gonna play it. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you, never gonna make you cry, never gonna say goodbye, never gonna tell a lie and hurt you, never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you, never gonna make you cry, never gonna say goodbye, never gonna tell a lie and hurt you. Never gonna give, never gonna give, never gonna give, never gonna give. We've known each other for so long. Your heart's been aching, but you're too shy to say it. Inside we both know what's been going on. We know the game and we're gonna play it. I just wanna tell you how I'm feeling. Gotta make you understand. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you, never gonna make you cry, never gonna say goodbye, never gonna tell a lie and hurt you, never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you, never gonna make you cry, never gonna say goodbye, never gonna tell a lie and hurt you, never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you, never gonna make you cry, never gonna say goodbye, never gonna tell a lie and hurt you.
Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul, seal your doom tonight. Spooky, scary skeletons speak with such a screech. You'll shake and shudder in surprise when you hear these zombies shriek. We're so sorry, skeletons, you're so misunderstood. You only want to socialize, but I don't think we should. A spooky, scary skeleton shouts startling, shrilly screams. They'll sneak from their sarcophagus and just won't leave you be. Spirit supernatural, shy, what's all the fuss? Bags of bones seem so unsafe, it's semi-serious. Spooky, scary skeletons are silly all the same. They'll smile and stab and slowly by and drive you so insane. Sticks and stones will
When the whole world was dragged into World War III, brave men like my father fought on the front lines. And they weren't alone. That was 20 years ago. Now it's up to us to carry on their legacy. And every so often, the earth from which we come gives way for something new, something greater to be born, and with them, even greater threats to face. Bring it on! Phenomenova. For you, Dad. For you.
Someone says, what's the future? Vaughn Coleman.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. How's it going? Uh-oh, I gotta do the thing. There we go. What was on my lip? Just eating something. How you guys doing? Sorry I'm a bit behind, but I'm glad to see you're all here. It's been an amazing journey so far. It really has. And we got a little further to go. But we got some goals we want to hit tonight. Hold on. I'm putting this in the chat as well. We got some goals we want to hit tonight. Let's see if we can get them. We got some guests, a lot of guests coming on tonight. Great show planned, great things to come. So, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And if you could share the link out to this stream, especially all guests tonight on the stream, if you could share it out, that would be fantastic. Big help. I do have some guests I want to bring on. I want to announce something. You know what? I guess I could. I'll talk about myself first. Let's set the mood, set what we're going for, and then we'll just kind of roll into it. So, at the time of me starting this stream, we have not that much time left on the Kickstarter. So people can plug their stuff if they want to, but we have 107 minutes and we have until we get our goal. Our goal, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, is a trading card at 300 backers. So to get to that goal, we only need a handful of backers. We need, let me do the math here, ladies and gentlemen, because the goals are cumulative. So regardless of what campaign you back, you will get the stretch goal perks. They're for everyone. So no matter what, even if you're like, I don't prefer Kickstarter. Well, guess what? Those Kickstarter guys, they're helping you out, man. Oh, I don't like Indiegogo. They're helping you out. Oh, I don't, whatever. It doesn't matter. All right. We're all in this together, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you keep an eye on that stuff. But earlier today, I said we were only 10 backers away from this. We were like 30. We were more than 30, I think, away from this goal when I announced that it was in fact a goal. Now we have, let's see how many backers across these campaigns. We have 243 or 234 backers on Fund My Comic, 22 backers on Indiegogo, and 41 backers on Kickstarter. So, because I suck at, hang on. You know what? I don't feel like doing math right now. 41 plus 22 plus 2, 3, 4. We have 3 backers away from everyone getting this trading card. So if you want it, make sure you get it. And when we do, of course, I'll take a shot at any goal we hit tonight. Now we have a couple other goals. If we can get 2,000 on Kickstarter, that's a shot. If we get 2,000 on Indiegogo, that's a shot. If we hit 16K, that's a shot. If we hit 600 copies sold, that is indeed a shot. We will keep it going. Just gave it a tweet. Thank you so much. Don, if you want the link, just message me if you want to come on. You know what? Enough about me for now. I mean, there's still going to be plenty of Vaughn Coleman chatter, discussion, of course. This is my show today, guys. It's my show. But we have some people. Let me go ahead and bring in this first guest, and then I'll bring in the next two. Here we go. Let me bring in this guy. I don't have a link, so I'm just going to say what I want to do. I should really just pick an intro already.
Oh, that was for me. Jeez.
Oh yeah, all for you. How you doing, John?
I was wondering who's going to show up after that. I'm like, that definitely ain't me.
You got the you're rocking the neck brace. I like it. It's like a fashion statement.
I know. I feel like Modoc. I got to get little arms and little
Got to get
legs. Put them on the side. Wear an all black shirt. Put a black drop behind me.
Nice. Dean, if you want the link, by the way, just send me a message. I could have you on the show, man. It's John's brother. Yeah, it's Ron's long box. Ron's short box.
It's funny. My next door neighbor. I went out yesterday to get the mail. You know,
like, who is this?
My next door neighbor just looked at me and she's like, I know who you are, but you don't look like you. You know, I forget that I don't have the beard. You know, I can't have the beard with this neck brace on. It's just driving me crazy.
All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we got if any of you guys, Yang, if you want the link, you're more than welcome to have it. Comics Mate, if you want it, Don Draws, if you want it, you guys are welcome to come in.
Such good people.
And everyone, like I said, if everyone in chat could do me a favor and send this link around, let's get this show popping off. Guests galore. Let's have fun. I'm going to be running this till 3 a.m. So,
Oh, jeez.
So
how many backers do you have there, Vaughn?
let me go through it. But first, let me bring in these guys
Okay.
with, let's see. I'll do.
Me? Gungaga.
Gentlemen, how are we doing?
Hey, what's up?
How you doing, guys?
Scott, we've been talking for a while. It's good to finally meet you guys. Why don't you introduce yourselves? It's the first time on the show.
Well,
Go ahead, Dan.
I'm Dan Evans, co-creator of the Godfo universe, and I apologize, Vaughn. I've sent out. I thought to so many people. I thought I had mentioned that Josh would be with me. I got two kids, and
yeah, you know what, Josh? Honestly,
my brain's not working.
you got we got bye, dude. Like honestly,
you're like, fine, I'll go to bed.
yeah.
Yeah, I'd do that in a hurry.
So I'm the writer of the Godfo universe. Josh is the artist, the talented one. Also co-writer, also co-editor, also looks. So I just kind of exist, and he does all the work.
Nah, dude, it's a team effort, man.
You're the editor,
I'm mostly the artist. We do create the story together. We run everything through each other, and then I draw it.
Yeah,
well, I'll give you guys the chance to talk about your book soon, but first we're going to talk about mine. Writers are great, Dean. They're great. Fantastic. Only
as a comic book writer, we're okay.
We're fantastic, man. It's the artist that you got to look out for, in my opinion.
You're right. You're correct. We're the ones that walk away with your women.
Oh, that's not where I was going.
We're like the drummer in the band.
Got to keep
Is that right?
Got to keep you chained to the drum set like Animal.
I see. So you were asking me how many backers I had. Well, so we're at 41. I'm going to keep it focused on Kickstarter until that closes in less than 2 hours. So it's getting scary because it's like Kickstarter is a different crowd that I have to market to. And I don't know what to do right now for that. I gotta just.
Yeah, I'm not setting the world on fire on Kickstarter.
Well, yeah. Oh, what do you? Because I had to learn. I'm just starting to make good connections towards the end with Kickstarter. It sucks. I thought, I have enough. It'll take over from there. No, I needed to really utilize it. 30 backers. That's not bad. I think that's not bad at all.
I like what Master Hobo says. I need a writer's drawn variant covers in every campaign. How about we have a blank cover and we just we describe what the cover would look like if we had the ability to draw?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Just put "good" in quotation.
You have to draw the cover. You don't get paid for it though.
Just like my artist.
We'll just write, this is an awesome cover of Phenomenova in a really cool pose. Action packed, just write all that on the cover. Close your eyes.
Oh, man, it's getting a lot of support now. This is great.
Nice.
Wait, I forgot. Who else was I going to send the link to? I'm like, as I'm on air. All right, there was like this group of Kickstarter people that were nice to me, so I'm just going to throw the link in that chat, and whoever comes on comes on. I don't know these people. For all I know, I could be inviting a serial killer into my house, but I'm going to just.
Yeah, why not?
Smash Swag King, if you want the link, you're more than welcome as well, pal.
Swag is always fun. Hey, Josh and Dan, I don't know your comic. I get kind of, sometimes it's just easy to miss it. Would you guys mind sending me on Twitter your links? I'll check it.
Yeah, send it in the private chat.
All right.
Go for it, Dan.
I'll do it right now.
All right.
And thanks again for having us on, Vaughn.
Dude, of course, my pleasure. I apologize that we're not going right into your stuff.
No, you're good, man.
You're fine, man.
Do you have an active campaign, Godfo?
Oh, yeah.
We started today.
Just launched today.
Just launched.
On what platform?
Indiegogo.
So I could look up Godfo on Indiegogo because I'm going to do that while we're talking.
I just went ahead and put it in the private chat for you.
Okay. And you can check out mine. It's in the private chat also.
Yes, sir. I actually caught up on your interview with Vaughn earlier today.
Cool. Oh,
I
okay.
interviewed who interviewed me?
No, it was Vaughn. It was you, Vaughn, interviewing John. You're talking about his book.
That was like,
Oh, you watch it. Yeah, we did that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Cool. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh yeah, it was great.
yeah. So we are at 41 backers on Kickstarter.
Nice.
Ooh, this is
We
great.
are at 22 backers on Indiegogo and 234 backers on Fund My Comic. We're 3 away from everyone getting an exclusive free trading card.
Voice.
And if we hit 2K by the end of the night on Kickstarter, that's a shot. If we get 300, that's a shot. If we get 2K on Indiegogo, that is a shot. We're going to have milestones going tonight. And I'm hoping to also, let's see how many copies we can get sold. But like I said, everyone share this out. This will be fun. Is my Kickstarter link pinned to the top of the chat? If not, I got to fix that. I've been running around like a madman. Yeah, let me go ahead and...
It's not pinned, but it's there.
No, it's not pinned.
Now it's pinned. Okay, so we'll talk about someone else for a little while. Thank you, Tate. All right, we'll talk about someone else. All right, let's talk about the new gentleman, the new kids on the block. Gentlemen, now is the time to sell me this pen, as Mr. DiCaprio would say.
Josh, I'll let you take the pitch. You're more articulate.
All right, so the Godfrey universe is a really widespread thing. We have a timeline that covers multiple eras. So our first release earlier at the beginning of the year was called Apollyon 20XX. It's the first book in our timeline. Kolga, Biophile Kolga, is set probably 1,000 years plus after that original book. It's in the same world, but it's self-contained. It's got connections to other things, but you can read Kolga without having read the previous books. And Biophile Kolga has a very, it's got a lot of the anime influence in it as far as the coloring and like some of the style of it. But it's more of a pulpy noir action story with lots of horror elements thrown in, lots of gnarly creatures and violence. It's about a woman who is essentially, she is a heretic who thought she was at the end of her life, fighting this battle against the powers that be. And she, instead of dying, she really gets a young body again, and she's given another life. And it's not a life she really wants. So she's now decided that, I've been given a new chance, so I'm just going to burn the whole thing down. So she's a very angry, bitter woman. But she has a young ward, a girl named June, who lives with her and also assists her with different missions and things. And then there's a character in the book called Stu, who is a talking eyeball, and I will not say much more about him other than that he's hilarious.
That's awesome. So let me go ahead and play the trailer.
Yeah, go for it, man.
Else. Nice, dude. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Cool.
So the book is 90 pages.
Wow.
Full color. We're actually printing it like a smaller, it's more like the digest manga size printing. So we're keeping prices down. We also just like that format, but it also helped us keep prices down. So it's very affordable for people. We're just really excited, man. This is something we've been working on for a really long time. So to finally be able to have Kolga out there for people, she's kind of going to be our flagship character.
Yeah, that's really cool, man. So this is your flagship for your universe or for this story?
I would say for our universe, like she's gonna be our. I would imagine she's gonna be our biggest character. She's incredible.
Yeah.
I love that image.
So you didn't start with your biggest one then. So this, and this, I noticed it's not. Oh wait, this is issue 1. Okay, gotcha.
Yep. Yeah, it's volume 1.
Yeah, it'll be
It's essentially
6 chapters.
6 chapters. It's more of a graphic novel than the issue by issue approach.
Gotcha. That's really cool, man.
I appreciate it. We worked hard on it, man.
Well,
Yeah.
I got to ask you. It says bibliophile Colga $15. That's
Yeah,
90?
Biophile Colga. Yeah, we're selling
sorry,
it for 15.
And how many pages is that?
90 pages.
You're insane, man. You are.
We are.
God bless you. God bless
All right, this
you.
is
I'm
a
doing
book.
30-page comic for $10, and you know what I mean. It's I'm like the Hobbit. I'm too much butter spread out on bread.
over bread. Yeah.
That's
Butter
nuts.
spread
Dude.
over
You guys are
too much
maniacs.
bread.
Good maniacs.
Oh, you know what? You guys are making me look bad. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave. All right. You know what?
Oh, Vaughn, you're the handsomest person here. Come on.
Oh.
Yeah, I was about to say, Dan, pop your top
So
off.
I've been
Dan.
told-
You'll make
Yeah,
him look
right.
better.
You don't want me to stand up. I look good kind of from here up. That's
Yeah.
You got me beat. There's no angle I look good in. So
I'm only fat when I sit down.
I'm only ugly and fat when I exist.
God,
It's like he was at the house one time. My wife is like, Dan, you're not fat. I said, yes, he is. He's just tall.
I'm just very tall.
Well, he's fat. He's just tall.
Well, and the term Godfoe comes from, in this universe, a being known as G.O.D. has taken over Earth, and it rules for several thousand years, and anyone who goes against it is labeled Godfoe. So all of our main characters are in some way a Godfoe. That may be someone who's in like part of the church from that side of things or not. It changes historically, like it kind of goes back and forth. It's huge. Like it takes place over thousands of years, and we're going to be releasing things in different eras of different millennia. It's kind of like a Dune did. There's a story that connects an overarching story, but you can jump in on any era. You can jump in on Apollyon or jump in on Kolga and get a full story without having to read everything. We don't really like that, you know. John, you mentioned this in the interview I saw, John. Like you said, your book is all one story contained.
Correct.
Instead of leaving people hanging. You can read Kolga, you can read Apollyon. You don't have to read each other, but you'll get a better story if you do. But we want people to jump in anywhere and get a story.
Yeah, I'm you know, I can't. I'm newbie at this. I have no illusions. I'm a newbie at this. I don't know how long it's going to take me between issues, and I think it's a big ask to ask people to wait random amounts of times to complete a story. So, I'm trying to copy comics of my youth, Bronze Age Marvel and stuff. So, when you bought Spider-Man 178, you got a full story.
Yeah.
But you bought Spider-Man 179. You know, oh, that's what they meant when they said this. That's what I'm trying for.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry to interrupt your time.
No, but
No.
that's one of the things we looked at and said, like, we don't ever, for one thing, we don't want to ever have to get to a place where we need to retcon and reboot this whole thing. So we spent years getting our whole timeline planned out in explicit detail before we ever started actually making these different comics and books and all the different things we got going. Like we got like 75% of a video game finished for Kolga that's going to be a prequel to Kolga.
Yep.
But like
short films for Apollyon 20XX.
Really?
Mm-hmm. They're on our YouTube page.
Yeah, we originally.
I need a beer glass. You guys,
So we originally were going to do Kolga as individual issues, and we sat back and said, like this story flows a lot better when you can just sit down and binge that whole story. So instead of doing issue 1 and then it's a year before someone gets issue 2, we're going straight out, giving you the whole volume. We did the same thing with Apollyon. In fact, Apollyon, which we released at the beginning of this year, is like 179, 180 pages, something like that.
Black and white.
In black and white. So we want to just give full stories out the gate. And so we're on track for Apollyon volumes to come out in the spring, and then a new volume of Kolga every fall. So like you're getting one in the spring, and then you get another one in the fall. and we've written a full novel that's at the end of our timeline, and that hopefully will be coming out. Which we haven't figured out exactly how we want to roll that one out, but like ideally, all three eras are going to be producing at the same time, like kind of consecutively throughout the year. So we're always going to be putting something else out there.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all written. Like there is no sitting back and wondering where's this going. Like we've got the whole story for all of these things mapped out. So you'll get, like when you get Kolga, or if you get Apollyon, the inside of the front cover has a timeline on it that has all of the mainline stuff, and then all these other things that are going to be stories that eventually we'll get to come back and plug into that timeline. They're all written. Like it's all there. We just have to have the chance to make it all.
Yeah, Josh just has to draw every afternoon.
And so how far along is this book?
What was that?
How far along is this book?
It's done.
It's done. Yeah, it's finished.
We don't post anything for sale until it's done.
Good shit. Yeah, mine is pretty much finished. But again, dude, you don't have to one-up me on my own show, man. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, look at these guys. Ridiculous. What do you think? You're trying to sell a product here? Look good?
Man, no, in full disclosure, the name Galvanite is so cool. I was jealous when I found it. Because I was like, damn, all
right, so I'll tell you the story behind that too.
Yeah,
I love the name
story behind
Phenomenova. That is such a cool name.
All right,
I heard that.
Yes, so let's go with that. So first of all, don't be afraid to not have stuff that's great, because eventually you'll find something better. So it was Lord Lightning, and then I said that on a creative block panel, and the whole panel laughed at me. They all laughed.
He said, it
was initially Lightning Lad, and then I realized that was taken. Then it was Lightning, but I was like, that's too generic. And then I was like, I went into like a manic state, and I was like, I need a new name. I need a new name. I need a new name. And so I kept doing it. And Galvanite was one of the ones on the list, and I was like, that is an awesome name.
Yep.
But he's not a knight, so let's not do that, whatever. And I like the word. I was so used to saying the word lightning for over 10 years that I just couldn't imagine the character with any other electricity word. None of them felt right to me. And eventually I was like, no. Yeah. What else am I going to use this name for that's better than the main character? Let's do it. And I was like, well, it does work. The Dark Knight isn't a knight. Galvanite works.
Yeah.
And I realized that there was story-based reasons.
You know, in American parlance, if you call somebody a knight, you basically call them a noble hero.
Exactly. Yeah. So it made sense. And also
horseback rider, you know, etymology that it had back in, you know, European times. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, everyone seems to agree. What's going on, John? If you want the link, let me know, John Douglas. So yeah, Galv, and also his favorite hero from World War III was Golden Gallant, so it worked. Now, another thing. Okay, so then as soon as I'm done with that, it was for Lightning Lad when it was a series of movies that I came up with when I was a kid. Then it was the series became The Vortex, and then I realized that was taken by so many things, and then it became Living Legends, and then I found out about this game that was called Living Legends, and apparently the guy's Sue Happy. Someone from my chat told me. So I was like, I talked to a lawyer who was doing my work for hire contracts, and I was like, should I change this? He was like, I mean, I think you're legally fine. He's like, but you could get a law. I'm like, so I could possibly deal with a lot. Let's not do it. And I had other people say it, but yeah, I even have these cards when it was Living Legends. It was a really cool logo. But then I went into another manic state, and I'm like, I'm not leaving this room. It's late 2023. We're starting the new year with a new name, which is why the first tweet of the new year was new name, new title, because I went into a crazy manic state. I'm like, no. And I was looking, what are superheroes? I spent days going through it. This, another this, another this. Well, they're phenomenons. Okay. And then one of the names I came up with when I was in this state was Crusader Corps. Now, this team was originally called the Force for Righteousness. And then people told me that was a bit too much.
Yeah.
And so I was like, Crusader Corps was one of the names I was like, it doesn't work for a team of teenage superheroes.
Name, just the Righteous.
Yeah. But it didn't work for a name of teenage superheroes, Crusader Corps. But I was like, you know who does need a new name? Force of Righteousness. So they became Crusader Corps. And I was like, okay, great. Still got to come up with this. So I go crazy and I'm writing out all these things. And I'm like, all right, well, superheroes are kind of like phenomenons. They're going to be kind of like stars, which is a phenomenon. What else is, stars, like what are words for stars? And I would star the star. Nova is a young star. And then I was like going through my list of words and I was like, Phenomenova. And I was like, wait, that kind of works. And I kept going back and I was like, no. And then when I was about to go to bed, I was like, this is great. I'm so proud of this. This is great. This sucks. And then I wake up in the morning and I like it. It took me a few days. And finally I was like, screw it. I'm pulling the trigger. I'm paying for a logo. And then it's been Phenomenova. And, I doubted it for a bit, but ultimately you got to pull the trigger. You could have doubts about everything. You can always think for a reason why something doesn't fit. That's one of the things I learned. You could always think of something that you think is better, and sometimes it's wrong. But yeah, people taking all the good names. That's why I had to get creative. I was like, I want something no one has had before. And that meant, well, of course I'm going to have that kind of reaction to Galvanite or Phenomenova. I'm going to have that kind of reaction because it's unheard of. What's going on,
Do you
Marcus?
know David Brink? Or
I love Dave Brink.
Yeah, David Brink. Every time he puts out a new comic, I got to get my erasers out and change the names of my characters.
Dude, I have so many characters names I have to change.
Why didn't you just name him Yaira or Horseman?
Don't get me
There's
started.
so many things I have to say.
Phenomenism.
Phenomenova is a cool name, man. I'm with it now. I'm with and
it
you
now.
can sing the Muppets. Phenomenova. Get that stuck in everybody's head like a mind worm.
Yeah. And I can't wait for you to meet. I have to change another character's name, but luckily, unlike the other ones, I didn't pitch it or start marketing before the name.
I stopped telling character names because I'm tired of changing them.
I've only got one friend and it's Josh, and that's who I tell my character names.
Like, all right, so there was the one character that was going to be called Lady Justice, and I was like, oh, there's a comic called that, whatever. Thank you, Professor Savage, Dad. Yeah, exactly. Pick this book up.
I backed it.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Marcus says there's nothing original. Yes and no, but it's harder and harder to come up with something original. As far as superhero names, it is tough, man.
It's tough.
It's tough.
I mean, Prince existed. That was pretty hard to make. So.
Let's see. Where are we at? We are still no new backers since starting. All right, that's okay. We'll keep it going. But John, we'll pull up your campaign for a little bit.
Oh, thank you.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. So someone did Lady Justice, but I'm like, you know what? It's just a character in my book. It's fine. And then I swear to God, the next day I decide, after going back and forth with names, I'm sticking with Lady Justice. The next day I go to Garden State Comic Fest, go to a friend of friends table, like I'm introducing me. He goes, this is my comic. This is my main character is Lady Justice. I'm like, God damn it. The immediate next day, I'm like, if that's not a sign from God to change this name.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I did, and I like the new name better. There's always a growing pain, but this one was actually a pretty quick one, maybe because I'm better now at letting things go. John, drop the link in the private chat.
I did. It's the first two in the private chat.
It is not in the private chat.
Okay.
Are you talking about? Did you DM me or?
Maybe I put it in before you were in, so you didn't see it, but I'll do it again.
Yeah.
Okay, that's for the Fund My Comic, and this is for the Kickstarter.
All right.
So whatever you want to do. There's slightly different things on each campaign.
Yeah, we're gonna go through the. And we're going to keep things kind of brief here because I really want to focus on promoting mine. But I do want, and then we'll get back to promoting yours more in depth.
Oh, man.
But
appreciate all the help I could get.
Yeah, man. You deserve it. You're making good stuff.
And Dan and Josh, send me a message. Come on my channel. We'll talk about comics.
Sounds good.
Man. I'll do it right now.
Yeah.
If I can walk and chew gum at the same time, we'll find out.
Tops did a Lady Justice comic. I remember she was like, if I remember correctly,
yeah, that's what I looked at.
Cowboy Woman. Okay, so this is my Kickstarter. This is I put $1,000 goal. Naively thought I would do it right away, but what do I know? And we got a 30 backers. I still got 32 days, so it looks like we're tracking to hit the goal. But you can get everything that's also on my Fund My Comic. So whatever platform you like. I know some people don't like Kickstarter. Some people would like same thing with Vaughn. Whatever.
Mhm.
And I'm going to do an Indiegogo soon with a different variant cover by Mike Gustovich. So I'm trying to put something unique on each platform. But for $10, you'll get the complete comic. It's a 22-page story introducing the patriarch. He's going to be my flagship character. You know, he's everything positive about masculinity. I'm tired of all these people trashing, men and fatherhood and everything. So, he's a loving dad, beloved husband. He's a beloved superhero, devoted husband, rather, beloved superhero. And, he's because supervillains exist, his family is like off the grid. So they homeschool, they homestead, they hunt, they do all the things that like a masculine man should do. And he's also out protecting the world because he's trying to protect his family. And if you scroll down, there's a couple of things I'm real proud of that I want to show. That's the cover by Renzo Rodriguez. Renzo is not only is he a great talent, but he's the most nicest guy you'll ever meet. Talk bad about me all you want. I could take it, but don't, Renzo is like a saint among men. And a few people asked for a black and white edition. I could print the black and white edition. And then scroll down more.
Yep.
And this is the back cover image. So this is going to be on the back of every comic. To me, this encapsulates everything that this character is about. He's a dad. He's got 7 kids. That's his wife down there in the hat and the pink shirt. And that's his farm. All the kids work. And when he gets home, like the daughter's like, remember, Dad, no superpowers. So like they bust his chops. He's got a farm like everybody else. No fair using superpowers. I got a lot of this. Oh my God, I cannot believe I talked to Michael T. Gilbert, one of my favorite comic book artists of all time, and he actually agreed to do a cover for me. So this is, he wanted to do a little bit more whimsical, a little more Silver Age. So if you could see the cover, there's like robotic ants fighting. So that's, so he wanted to do robotic ants and then a picnic scene because that's whimsical, right? So here's the patriarch with the son out on a picnic. The robot ants attack and the wife's and the damsel in distress in the back. I just think it's funny. When was the last time you saw word balloons on a cover?
It's been a while.
Yeah, and then if you scroll, Vaughn's, I don't know if Vaughn's there anymore, but if you scroll down, you could see the internal art is drawn by Renzo Rodriguez. It's the same quality art. I wanted to show that I'm not doing a switcheroo, and
Oh yeah.
So
this is just a variant cover we're looking at now.
So far, the only way to get this is on Kickstarter, and if you go to Fund My Comic, I have a cover by Pat Broderick. That's the only way to get that is on Fund My Comic. I'm new at this. This is my first campaign. I didn't know what should I do. So I thought I'll put variant covers on different formats that'll give people. So I don't know. Maybe my next campaign, I'll put everything on one format. You know what I mean? And
how is Fund My Comic, Vaughn and John?
Comic has been awesome.
You guys like it? Okay.
Fund My Comic is awesome for so many reasons. It's easy to use. As a creator, it takes the money right away. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think, let's be realistic, a couple of impulse people, you know what I mean? Then 6 weeks later, you're like, nah, I didn't want this. And then, or they didn't have money on their card or whatever. And like, well, I couldn't afford it. So I like that. But the thing that really gets me about Fund My Comic is I messed up while loading everything. And my campaign's about to go live in 2 hours. And it's a 404 error message. So I call up Luke Stone, the owner of Fund My Comic. He's having dinner with his family. I could hear the dishes clink, clank, clink, clink as he's talking to me. And he's like, yeah, so John, how's everything going? And I'm thinking, what are you doing with the small talk? Fix my effing problem. I'm freaking out. And he goes, oh, John, it's done. I took care of it already. Can you do that on Indiegogo? Can you do that on Kickstarter? So there you go. Right then and there. If you are on Fund My Comic, you will get the man's phone number, the man being the guy who owns it.
No, I don't have his phone number. I normally DM him.
Well, he said, don't give it to Vaughn.
Oh, okay. Typical response, I'd say.
Yeah, he said, but he's been nothing but a great help. And I kind of felt like I betrayed him by going to Kickstarter. But, I gave him 3 months exclusive on Fund My Comic. And I did pretty good. I did over $5,000 for a nobody like me. First time, so I can't complain. Cole. I was going to call you Coleman, and I realized I'm not at work. We use first names in the real life.
Yeah, do the neck brace art.
Yeah, the page. Yeah, maybe next issue I'll have them crash.
So what are we at? 30 backers?
30 backers.
We'll keep
30
that in
backers
mind.
on Kickstarter. 185 backers on Fund My Comic.
Nice.
Yeah. So Dad Lives Matter. Professor Savage says, yeah. And then going, we're on page 7 of issue 2. We're chugging along. So there's going to be 22 pages of Patriarch story, 8 pages of Unheroic Tales, which is a backup story about Lucius Kane, the villain. In issue number 2, he's the mayor of the town that I said anything. If you know anything about me, the politicians are going to be bad guys. And then a couple of pages of fake ads and a letter.
Politicians would never do anything wrong.
They would never do anything wrong.
No, I blindly. I totally trust the government, man.
So issue 2 is going to be a main story of the Patriarch. I already have the variant cover drawn by Jose Garcia, and then you flip it over, and it's going to have a cover by another character, Mary Sue. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have a Patriarch story, main Patriarch story, and then a smaller secondary character until I introduce all my characters. Then the team will form. You know what I mean? Because Patriarch is the flagship character. I don't want to jinx myself by switching out the characters. So there'll be a Patriarch story every issue, and then a smaller secondary character. And then maybe if I hit a stretch goal, I'll do an Unheroic Tales about a villain. But I would love to do that. So we're talking 35 to 40 pages a comic going forward with issue 2. But I made some mistakes in issue 1, so I hired some people I shouldn't have hired. I did crazy things like make these challenge coins and then forget to put them on the campaign page. I did a lot of fun things. I made these pint glasses because Dad Superhero wants a beer when he comes home from work. So there you go.
So did you hire somebody from the mob and that's why your neck hurts?
Oh, you don't know. I apologize. Last week I was coming home from work and I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was a blood sugar thing or if it was a heat stroke thing, but I just started getting tunnel vision as I was driving on the highway. I exited the highway and I was like, there's a gas station over there. I'm going to pull into this gas station. And then I woke up right into a tree. Boom. So I fainted while driving. No, I don't drink. No, I don't do drugs. I fainted last July at work. I'm a construction worker working at the airport in 106 weather.
Mm-hmm. That'll do it.
So I just faint, airbag, boom, cracked my neck. So
I
got a broken.
Glad you're okay, man.
Yeah, thank God you're all right.
I'm glad it didn't happen on the road. At least you were able to get off.
Yeah, I had a little bit of wherewithal because if I had passed out while in the highway, I'm more scared I would have killed somebody else.
Yeah, I'm glad that didn't happen.
So
dude.
I hit a tree. Nobody else got hurt. The airbag saved my life. The worst thing in the world was I had to call my wife and tell her I crashed, and then from the hospital I had to call her and be like, I broke my neck. So oh my God. So I just like to say I broke my neck and my comic book is still ahead of schedule. It should be shipping before.
I just thought you had pissed off somebody in the mob who did art for you.
So somebody today was saying that there's women in Comicsgate that are tougher than me. I would like to respond to that. Even with the broken neck, I'd kick your ass.
You can do that in the Olympics now.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to beat up a girl. I'm going to beat up the guy who's.
Did you could get a gold medal, dude?
Dude, before we get into this, I want to say I got one new backer on Indiegogo, so thank you so much.
Congrats.
And John, I'm glad to hear you're okay. I didn't mean to not, but I mean, I've heard it's crazy though. I'm so glad because John just casually takes a picture. Like I just see on Twitter, he's like, "Oh, just crashed." And I'm like,
"Yeah, I took a picture." I got to tell you, I was still stunned. I was getting in the ambulance, and I was not thinking straight. I was talking nonsense, and I'm taking pictures, and like by the time I got to the hospital, it almost felt like like when you see like Vaseline on the lens and the camera perspective change, like I was like, oh, okay, I'm thinking, and I'm like, what did I put on Twitter? I like went back to see if I said anything stupid.
Because I didn't post my dick, did I?
Yeah, put in dick pics. Yeah. Man,
when that happens. But I hate when that happens.
I just remember the cops came, and the first thing I said to the cops,
I'll bet they did.
Yeah, I mean, somebody called the cops, you know what I mean? And I'm sitting there in the car because I couldn't move. I was like, do I have a broken neck? Like my neck was killing me. I was smart enough not to move.
Yeah.
And the cops came and looked at me, and I just started cursing. I said, if you effing guys would have given me a drug test, I'm going to effing pass. You know, I was crazy, you know, stunned. And the cops just started laughing at me. They're like, it's okay. It's okay. So, and then one guy came out and started filming me. I'm like, if I'm on effing YouTube, I'm going to come back here and kill you. You know, I was crazy, ranting like a maniac. The cops were like, put your camera away, you know.
Master Hobo said John has that Wolverine healing factor.
Oh, I wish. I absolutely wish.
Dude, that was one of the things that was interesting when I was reading that run, is that it like progressively gets stronger, that it's not that strong in the beginning. Like there's one part Wolverine's falling off a height and he's like, I could die from here. It's like, knowing the Wolverine that I grew up with, I was like, really? But even watching the animated series, I was like, what? Wolverine needs bandages? Since when? But it's like nowadays they overdo it, and I think that actually was better back in the day, because now they like, for example, doesn't he like survive a nuke? And it's like,
yeah, he's like just a skeleton. He looks like Sarah Connor in her nightmare.
I've got the Sam Keith first appearance of Cyber, where Cyber guts him and he almost dies. Like he spends like a day having to recover, like in the fetal position. He's like, yeah, I'm probably gonna die.
Yeah, I like it. He fought the Punisher, and the Punisher is just like, so you could regenerate, you could heal, and blah blah blah. And he's like, yeah. So the Punisher just takes out a shotgun and shoots him in the crotch.
Yep.
Then escapes while Wolverine's laying on the ground. You know what I mean? He didn't want to kill him or anything, but he wanted to get away. But I like a little bit of weakness in your characters. You know what I mean? Like,
my character is, you know, he doesn't know his powers yet. He's a dumb kid, which is a weakness in and of itself. You know, I like writing flawed characters. Actually, if anything, I feel like it's going to be harder to write. I mean, this guy, Golden Gout in the center, because I wanted to be an absolute powerhouse. And it's like, okay, I know it's World War III, but I can't. I was thinking about this even earlier today. I'm like, well, I can't have him just like obliterating everyone on the battlefields. I got to figure something out. So,
well,
I love building limits into my character
that everybody looks up to. There's nothing wrong with.
No, yeah, I know, but I'm saying when I get to the World War III storyline, I'm gonna have to get creative with how I hold this guy back.
Right, but don't
mean creating good villains.
Make it so that when he shows up, it's, oh my god, he's here now. This is cool.
Yeah, I know. And then I need villains that'll be like,
What's funny is our character Kolga, she encounters a situation where she gets a regenerative ability through like the magic system, and it's more of a curse. And the problem is, because we have like a magic system in place, literally the greater threats are like things that can burn her forever and in agony, or people that can take over her body or mind, or being able to die in different ways. So we kind of really wanted to grab that idea of like the regenerative healing factor and actually make things that were threats to it.
Well, we also exploited that as a weakness, where when she does finally, there is a fight, a really dramatic fight, and she is, I'll just say she is sacrificing limbs in the fight with zero regard. But, you know, ultimately it's that recklessness that comes from knowing, oh, I can grow it back, that causes her to, she dives into something that she's not going to be able to win because she dives into it so far because she's being reckless. Like it ends up being a problem for her because she takes for granted that, hey, just because I can regenerate doesn't mean that all these other people that are with me can, or, you know, like it really does push her character into a place where she's not making a good decision. So like we had a lot of fun with that part of her character growth.
And what you were saying, Vaughn, like writing complex characters or writing characters with flaws, like that's the fun part. That's the really fun part about it.
Now you have to be creative if you come with a really powerful character. I will say that with the threats.
That's why it's hard to write Superman.
That's what I was literally about to say. That's why so many people can't write Superman. You know, I don't like. I might struggle with Superman. You know, now, like for example, I think it's going to be harder to write a character like Golden Gallant because I could write him through villains, but every story needs conflict. And what does conflict need plus opposition? My character has needs, and he's always in. That's like one of the tough. It's kind of a tough thing to learn, actually. But once you kind of crack it, takes a lot of practice. Writing becomes simple. Like once I'm like, what is the point of this scene? Once my through line, then it becomes simple. Like, so I've been rewriting some issues. I have to rewrite my favorite issue. Luckily, I think I can keep most of it intact, but I've been issue 5 was my favorite that I've written so far. And then I'm totally rewriting the finale of my initial story arc. But
that makes sense.
Yeah. But I have to promote this one first. You know?
Yep. Well, that's the fun thing. Is like people like a character like Superman. People, John kind of mentioned this earlier. Like our culture has kind of lost the idea of hero, and a hero is not someone without flaws. A hero is someone who does not let their flaws overtake or define them.
Good. That's a good point.
Yeah, there's someone who overcomes their vices consistently. Superman could kill anyone at any time, and he's often tempted to. And he could be a villain like that. And that's the thing. Villains are usually people who are villains are usually super powerful because that power has corrupted them, like Magneto and stuff like that. Like if Magneto were weaker, he may not be as much of a villain. You know,
that's one of the things that I loved about Kingdom Come was the way they handled Magog. You know, he's technically like he's the ultimate 90s hero with all the ridiculous, like overdrawn characteristics. And then he's ultimately, even though he's super powerful, he can do anything. He doesn't have the integrity or the courage to actually be a hero.
That's why Kingdom Come, I to me is one of my favorite Superman stories because it shows you Superman is the father of the superhero community. Like literally, he was the first superhero, and then Dad goes away, and all the children start acting like brats. And then when Superman showed up again, you could see like everybody at the table was like, you know, buttoning their shirts. You know what I mean? Like that. I love that.
It's a standard. It's he because if you're going to be an icon, you also have to be a standard. And you know, when you start eroding that with all the anti-heroes and blurring the lines of good and evil and having, you know, Captain America actually is an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. and all the lame crap that they do nowadays, you lessen the impact of having someone that is actually a standard that is, you know, that you can depend on to be who he is, regardless of whatever else happens. Now, I like the idea of like Phenomenova starting with somebody young who's immature and has to grow into character and integrity. Or fail to do that and go in the other direction. How, you know, is interesting too.
And he's malleable in a sense, but he wants to be stronger. He has to, you know, get it together. And here are his main heroes. And you know, I have that standard in this universe that he looks up to. And now, so we set the standard, and now he has to live up to it.
Yeah. Well, what's fun, John, talking about Kingdom Come, like one of our first videos we did on our channel, not to promote too much, but on podcast, we actually responded to a conservative podcast called The Lotus Eaters. They went off on Kingdom Come, and they got the story so wrong. They got it.
I'm a fan of Sargon of Akkad, but I have to say I hate the name the Lotus Eaters.
I get the reference, like, but you have all of the Odyssey to reference to. Don't pick that one. And I don't have any beef. Like I'm not gonna get into it.
The Lotus Eaters were not good people to emulate. I just don't get why you picked that name.
Well, I'm not going to get into a political ideology, but their video on it, they were trying to take a real politic stance on it. That Wonder Woman is right. You have to kill and punish the evil, but like they missed a lot. They missed the Superman, and they missed the biblical aspect. Like the whole point of Revelation that Kingdom Come references is that only Christ is the one that's able to judge the world, and Superman's not Christ. That's a whole other thing. Right. But all that to say, we did a whole thing with that, and what you said, John, and what Marcus Kelliger here is saying is, I think today's comic creators don't understand heroism. Yeah, they don't understand heroism because they don't understand fathers, because they don't understand men.
Well, that's a societal thing, though. When you haven't seen heroes,
that's a good point.
Yeah,
it's a pretty heady point.
That's true. I mean, that's what it is, and like that's how you destroy the idea of heroism. You crack the foundation, which is men, and they did that. I mean, you betray heroes. Oh, they're gray and morally corruptible, and then that's how fathers are. Let's show everything. Fathers are always bad and controlling patriarchy, and then that's how you destroy men. And then if men have no, like Vaughn was saying, if men don't have an abstract to build towards a moral standard, then they turn to villains. And that's what that's what he was saying with Phenomenova. You got to have those guys that are a mentor figure, you know?
Well, that's why I like, and I'm a big anime junkie, but that's what I love about My Hero Academia is that, Deku has such a good example in All Might, and All Might holds him to that legacy too and communicates it very clearly and not just once. Like he consistently is reinforcing like there is a legacy and a standard that you have to live up to, and you can't hide behind it. And you have to go out and own it. You got to, like early in that series,
what made me like that,
you got to go out and declare it.
Not to interrupt, Josh, but to put all together, like, because we've talked about this, you and I, what makes that series so great is, and when I fell in love with it is Deku, the main character, the kid, is growing up, and he says one line that I was like, okay, they get heroism. He says, I want to live up to everyone's expectations.
I like that. I have my issues with the show. Like, I think it was too much training and meandering in that show personally for me.
Yeah.
I really liked it to begin with, but by season 5, I was like, okay, that's...
Yeah, the slice of life got a lot.
There were like 5 episodes left in season 5, and I honestly kind of fell off when they were doing the internships personally.
Yeah.
But had some great moments. People are too obsessed with characters that are actually jerks. I kind of agree, yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I hate it when I read a book and there's nobody in that book that I can even remotely like, care about, or identify with.
I like to cheer somebody on.
Yeah, I need to have... You can have problems. You can be like flawed, but I want somebody that I don't want to hate every character in the book.
At least be a magnificent bastard. Like,
yeah, there you go.
Like who's the bad guy from Gargoyles that was voiced by the guy that played Riker?
The old Will Riker's voice.
Yeah, great bad guy. You love him even though he's awful. Like.
Why can't I think of his name?
If you guys haven't liked this stream yet, by the way, make sure you do so. And if you haven't shared out the link on socials, make sure you do so. We are 2 backers away from hitting our first goal of the night. And I don't know, are we going to be able to get to 2,000 on Kickstarter? It doesn't seem possible, but I'd love to be proven wrong.
There's a billionaire out there somewhere.
A billionaire?
Yeah, he's just watching the stream. He's just sitting there laughing with his money. Not being Batman.
Yeah, Master Hobo says the boys comic in the show. I bought the boys comic because I'm a, obsessive compulsive comic book buyer. So I got everything Garth Ennis. But I actually bought them all. And I think I was up to issue 60 before I actually sat down and read them.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, if I had known,
I'm sorry.
But I just hate. There was nobody good. Well, Wee Yui was good. He was the only one that you could. I don't know how they treat him in the show, but I'm not watching the show.
They emasculate him every chance they can get.
The show is went from being an interesting commentary on the entertainment industry and how politics is fake to literally just. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna be honest. It's just straight up. We hate right wingers. We hate right wingers. We hate right wingers. That's a great
description. Politicized. It sucks,
and it used to be. And it's first of all, they're trying. All right. So Hollywood is very much one way, and then they're trying to also shit on. And it's that's not really how the entertainment industry works, and it just ruins my escapism because I can't buy into the universe because it's so contrary to reality that it's I just can't. This is just it's one of those instances where you can't have escapism because you're I just can't get past this writer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and the show hits on the idea, okay, we get it. Power corrupts. It doesn't corrupt everybody. Not everyone who had an ability is going to be a sexual deviant.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. It's not. What's funny though, and I'm not trying to rip the guy because he's very popular, and I liked Preacher for the most part, but I had never heard of the boys before the show. I'm just behind on comics at that point.
You missed the point of Preacher. I love the Preacher comics so much, and that show was just let's make fun of America and Christianity.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing is, I watched the first episode of The Boys, and I was like, this has to be Garth Ennis.
Well, it's so cynical and nihilistic. It's which is his thing, but with Preacher, it was actually funny.
Yeah, Preacher was funny and creative.
Well, Garth Ennis loves Westerns. He loves America, but Garth Ennis hates superheroes.
Yeah.
So The Boys was made out of, I hate superheroes. I'm going to tear them a new a-hole.
Yeah.
And I don't want to consume product or read comics or watch movies about a guy who's I hate this. I'm going to make fun of this.
Yeah, but that's
You know-
everybody with everything now. You can tell people don't like the stuff they make. They're just miserable people.
Like the writers didn't like The Witcher. Why would
Yeah.
I watched like 2 episodes of The Witcher, even the good first season, and I hated it. You know, and the people don't like Tolkien. Why are they making Rings of Power? You know,
Yeah,
they have
that's
no
that one is blasphemy to me. Like, you don't mess with Tolkien.
I need to read Punisher Max. I've heard it's great.
Punisher Max is excellent. I love Garth Ennis.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
his
just-
Punisher one was fantastic. Yeah,
I hated the Punisher. I just hated the concept of a superhero that kills. I'm a goody.
Really?
Garth Ennis started writing the Punisher. I said, this is too good. This is just too good. So, and my favorite comic of all time is Hitman by Garth Ennis. It is
Really? I didn't know it was of all time.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
I liked
it's such
Hitman.
a good series. He could do comedy, he could do pathos, he could do superheroes, he could do crime, detectives. You know, he could do it all in one comic. You know, one issue is the most ridiculous, stupid thing, and you're laughing at how absurd it is. And the next issue, you're crying because it is the saddest thing. And I'm not even joking; it's literally that abrupt. It is so good.
I'll have to, Hitman. I'll have to check out.
Yeah, Hitman is so good. I reread that series every couple of years. It is so good.
I have
So
Punisher
that
Born.
series gets me to read it. That's why I got The Boys, and then I got so much back issues that I sat down to read it, and I was like, "Oh, this!" Like my stomach hurt reading The Boys. You know?
Yeah.
It's like I say this a lot. I didn't particularly like The Dark Knight Returns as much as I like Frank Miller because they made Superman a stooge for the government. You know, and he was just the government stooge. He's not this holy angel of like all that is good in the world. And I'm like, if they got Superman, and I know it's an Elseworld story, but they did Superman dirty, so I never liked The Dark Knight Returns.
There's a whole era there where like if you were going to do a president, it had to be Nixon or Reagan, and they had to be awful.
It's
so
interesting.
in 20 years, Trump will be the bad guy in every comic, like he is already.
It's interesting too because it's like, see, I actually kind of agree with this. Is Daredevil's better than his Batman?
Oh yeah, his Daredevil, everything he did, Daredevil, and everything he did with Wolverine were fantastic.
Yeah,
absolutely. No, and his Batman. I mean, his regular Batman stuff was good. Like Batman Year One is one of the best. Batman.
Oh, Year One's fantastic.
I like Sin City a lot. I really
I got
enjoy
it right
Sin
here.
City. At least that
I haven't read
earlier
Sin
one.
City yet.
Sin City is awesome,
really good.
man. Like it's actually it's probably the best.
I made a video on the
writing
definitive
he
Frank
did.
Miller Daredevil order. I'm gonna post that in the chat.
Now, Vaughn, do we have 4 hours to go into your Final Fantasy video controversy?
Dude, oh wait, did you watch that happen?
Yeah, I did.
So
Wait on. Oh no way. We got to.
what happened? I need to know because I love Final Fantasy.
That was one of my best, my greatest moments of my career, dude.
What happened?
That-
It's all
my God.
downhill from there.
Dude, it is all right. This is a wild story. And I'm happy to talk about it because it is nuts. It's actually kind of on my list of topics to talk about because I have plenty of stuff to talk about. Oh my God. So I made this 2-hour video essay. I'm gonna link that in the chat as well. Because it deserves more views and the algorithm fucked me. Because I was seeing all these accounts with no subscribers getting recommendations on these like 2-hour video essays, accounts I never heard of, and they were like popping off in views. And then I'm like, okay. And then the algorithm decides, well, we already put you in this box, so we're not going to promote this amazing video essay. But anyway, so if you haven't watched it, make sure you do so. Let's see if we can get it to 1,000 views. So, okay, I made this video essay of this game I love. One of my favorite stories ever, right? One of my favorite stories. And I note that it's kind of like at its core a love story, because the character's arc starts with him trying to impress this girl, and ends with him impressing her. There's a lot more to it than that, but it's hard to get into without hyper specifics and spoilers. So I posted something into Twitter, and I kind of knew I was going to get some flack a little bit. But I didn't think about it too much because I was like, oh, I'll get some views. It'll be fun. And then I don't think about the tweet for like weeks. But basically I said, it's not really a matter of shipping. It's just understanding the game's themes and characters. Their arcs are clearly meant for each other. Weeks pass by, nothing. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, this tweet just pops off, and I'm getting all these people screaming at me about hang on, let me see if I can go through some of these. I do tweet a lot, but like Vaughn Coleman shipping. All right, let's see. Let's see if I can find it.
Now you're gonna get sued by Vaughn Coleman Shipping Company.
Vaughn Coleman Shipping Company. I'll sue them. I'll sue those fuckers. Damn. I guess we really got everything out of the Kickstarter. I was hoping to get some more, but 2 backers, guys. Come on. Okay. So I make this upload this clip from the video essay, and then it's like a link back to watch the rest of the video here. Yeah, dude. All right, so if you notice, there's a lot of engagement. Holy crap on this thing. Full video essay that can be found here. And a lot of these people like me now. They're accusing me of doctoring footage to fit an agenda. My guy even altered the dialogue from the scene. Font doesn't even match mouse. And I didn't edit the dialogue. This game had dialogue changes. I didn't even realize there was another version when I downloaded the footage. Goes on to say this. And hey, I think if you made the title something like my thoughts or take on cognitive and together, I would have seen the trouble doing this. But officially speaking, no pair was confirmed. And what does it have to do with doctor? All right, so I kind of like went off. All right, so then these people lost their shit. How many quote tweets?
You should insult Taylor Swift next.
Oh, dude! I
just do a whole video about how you want Sephiroth to kill Taylor Swift.
Yeah, dude. So, bro, a bunch of Claire fans discovered this and are pissed off, and then. Oh, John, this is one of my favorites. These people are unhinged. So this,
you need help. So, like,
correcting you isn't the same as being angry. I'm sure you're not at all upset. Being no opinions you have there isn't being pissed, but go off, I guess. And then this person, I'm pretty sure, went on a whole rant about me. A lot of these people, this person, see, they always, Aerith Cloud is their entire identity is just shipping. And by the way, I mentioned in the video essay that I almost cried when this other girl died. But it's not good enough because I didn't think that they were the canon couple.
I mean, I think, especially in the remakes, they really want you with Tifa in the remake.
That's what I think.
More than in the original, they really want you.
How are you supposed to ship with a girl that's dead?
Well,
dude, someone said that in the comments, and they were like, a thread on my that is wrong. So anyway, these people went ballistic on me. Now here's the thing: by the end of this, they all loved it. So I decided I'm capitalizing on this.
Yeah.
So I make this stream. I invite 2 people.
You should Photoshop your cosplay, you making out with fake Tifa. Like,
dude, I don't want to.
He edited this footage.
All right, hold on. We're gonna see who is this. Is this one of the people from the Kickstarter group? It might be. Just don't show your penis on my stream, and we're okay. I'm gonna give this guy.
Bang until the midnight.
What's going on? You joined at an interesting time, Farley.
Hey, yeah, no penises here. You're good. So I'm
okay.
safe.
Are you from the Facebook group?
I am actually.
All right, that was a shot in the dark. I was like, I don't know if I could trust these people, but we're gonna find out, and we're finding out now.
I see that you've lost muscle mass and melanin.
Like, there's no effing way you can trust me. So whatever. But yeah, enjoy it while I'm here.
Okay, that's good. I'll pull up whatever you're working on in the meantime. But we're going through. I don't know how much of this you heard. Did you hear any of this?
No, I saw the stuff on the Facebook page, and so I was like, the group. And I was like, well, shoot, let me see what these guys are doing. So,
all right. So let me give you. So we're not talking about that at all right now. We'll get back to it. But I have a long stream to go through. But are you a fan of Final Fantasy VII?
I'm just gonna say this, dude. I turned 49 on Saturday. I haven't played a video game like that since forever. Like,
But did you ever play that one or no?
No, the last Final Fantasy I played was 3. No
Gotcha.
shit. Yeah.
Well, 7 fans are apparently, and I still see stuff on my timeline. I made a 2-hour video essay. It's one of my favorite stories ever. I adore this story. And I just said, well, I think these characters' love story is beautiful. But because there's like a love triangle and they felt I picked the wrong one, a lot of them got very angry at me. And so I capitalized on it. And then they were like, oh, he's just rage baiting. And I was like, well, I mean, like, listen, you watched the video, didn't you? You know what I mean? I got so many, but the thing is, what I did was I invited people on stream that were different views than me, and they talk to me all the time now. Like, these people are like, they were like going off. I killed them with kindness. I mean, I trolled a little bit, but I also killed them with kindness. I showed I was capable of a respectful discussion. It was fantastic. It was so much fun. But yeah, they got
definitely a lot more likable to me in the game than Tifa. I always thought she was sweeter, and then in the remake, I think she's cuter.
Yeah, she's cute. She's adorable, and I understand that.
Well, Charlie, for a lighter topic, what's your views on Palestine?
All right, hold on. Let me translate this one, guys. Place your bets. Place your bets. I'm gonna ignore that. Place your bets. Do you guys think this person is pro or against me? We're getting people internationally talking about me from this post. What do we think?
Internationally or like South America?
All right, hang on. Let me see. The old Durandi, there's no stale bread for you. What does that mean?
You're just going to get bots.
Speaking in riddles in another
You're going to
language.
get bots, man. You're going to get bots.
They're attacking him for stating the truth. Yes.
Hey.
Yes. So anyway, they got mad. So I got a lot of stuff. The truth, Jesus, these people really, really went off on me. But anyway, it was a fun time. Some guy made a 15-minute response video to me, but he was super nice. Wow, this is actual cringe. I admitted, like, people were like, oh, you didn't mention this part. It is like a 60+ hour game. I made a 2-hour video essay. 2 hours. And they were like, you didn't talk about it enough. I'm like, okay. Like, but anyway, let's talk about Charlie's book real quick. American Yakuza.
Yep.
You're on Kickstarter. Let me pull it up. Did someone leave?
Yeah, he said he'll be right back.
Oh, okay.
There he is.
Hello?
Theoretically. His
You're
kid
right.
might have woke up.
All right. Oh, let me open this in another, or no, I'll open in this tab to play the trailer.
Oh, nice.
And then I'll open it in another tab, and then you can talk about your book. All right, that's awesome. So let me go ahead and open this in the other, because my computer does this annoying thing where for some reason you can't play the trailers in one thing, but you can't show the campaign in the other. It's only my PC does this, and I've never bothered to sort out the issue. But let me open it in this tab. Oh, before we get to it, 1 second. Before we get back to your book, because I do want to talk about your book. Here we go. Mike Phenomenova just hit one more Kickstarter backer. So we got 38 minutes left to get another. Now, if we get one more backer, just one more, everyone unlocks. Let me remind everyone real quick. Everyone unlocks an exclusive free trading card done by yours truly. Let me go ahead, or I'll pull it up in another. Hold on. Sorry. Closing the tab for a second to remind everyone of what you will get when you back Phenomenova issue 1. Of course, if you back the book, if we hit 300 backers and we are one away, just one away, everyone will get an exclusive free trading card of this character named Dark Cloud. Just one backer away. And no matter what platform you back on, everyone gets it if we just hit our 300th backer. So make sure you guys do it. Make sure you're sharing the link out. And thank you guys so much. Now let's get back to it. I know how close we are. All right. So let's talk about American Yakuza now. You know, you still there?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm here.
Oh,
I'm just getting earbuds. Sorry. Yeah. Is my audio okay with these things?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, gravy. Yeah. No, American Yakuza is it's a 5-act. You know, each act is 20 pages, so it's really a 100-page story that I'm working on with Chris Moses and Anthony Stokes. And dude, this is a fun book. This is one of those mature audiences books that I'd love to see done. We all do, but as a movie or as an anime or something like that. But it's a murder mystery. I mean, the title is the premise, right? The full title is I invested in an international conglomerate and went from an MMA champion to the first ever American Yakuza overnight, literally. So, you know, it really is, again, the premise is the story. So it's fun, it's badass, it's rip-romping violence, kind of a John Wick meets Succession meets, I don't know if you guys have watched Warrior from Cinemax, HBO Max, whatever the hell it's called anymore. Great TV show, but it's got that level of violence and sexiness. There's some intrigue and mystery, and I don't think when you get to the end, so I get to read it as a co-writer, and I was the third of the 3 co-writers, so I get to read it as the last guy, almost as a fan. I get to the last issue, and I was like, holy fuck, I did not see that coming. Like, that was great. So really, really cool story. I get to say that as not just the primary writer, but as just mostly as the publisher and the tertiary writer. But it's really good. We have a fantastic art crew. Damiano Restivo is an Italian artist who does the interior art. Fantastic artist. Guy has a very cinematic vision. So he draws almost like a director frames, and we love that because as we've gotten to the last scripts, seriously, we loosened up. We're like, F it, this guy's got it. He knows what we're gonna do here, and so we allow the artist the freedom to frame the book the way he really wants to. So he becomes a true co-creator in the whole thing. And then John Rock, who, if you guys aren't familiar with John Rock, he has done, he did Invincible for a long time. After FCO Placenza was let go, John picked up Invincible for about 3 years, and then I forgot, he was let go and somebody else picked up, but John did the colors for the interior. And then we have a shitload of great cover artists, like this one here from Gamboni. This guy, Gamboni's another international artist that just totally crushed this cover. We have we have the cute bikini-clad version, and of course, we have the not suitable for work, mature audiences version, where the bikinis happen to fall off of everybody at the same time. Available for this. There you go.
Don't you love when that happens?
You know, it's a mystery to me how it happens, but I don't ever question it.
Nice.
Act of God.
Awesome.
Yeah, the Shong brothers did that one. This is from Thiago de Silva. We have a metal version of the NSFW of that one too. So yeah, we have some great covers, phenomenal interior cover art, and a really compelling story. So whether you're into just sexy, dope, awesome cover art, or if you're into really compelling, fun story, or just good, gorgeous interior art, we got you covered, man.
This book looks great. Everyone, make sure you go ahead and back it if you have not already. Well, I personally, never mind. You guys are first discovering it for the first time. Where's the best place everyone can find you too? You got socials?
Yeah, I'm super easy to find. I'm at, you can see it in my profile here at Charlie McKelvey. Yeah, I keep that up there because I'm very social active on everything except for Instagram. I'm at charliemckelvey.com. For Instagram, you have to put a dot between my first and last name, because Instagram, for whatever reason, locked me out of my account. So F them. Thank you, Meta, for being douches. But
oh yeah, there.
So that Instagram is charlie.mckelvey.com. Yeah, again, and you guys can reach out to me wherever. I'm responsive, accessible, and I love to chat and shoot the shit with people. So appreciate it, man.
Cool.
Thank you. This is great. So everyone, check out this book. Looks great. I'm glad to hear. I'll have you on the show at some point for an interview if you want, or have you on again. Real quick, Liam, do I want to check in on? All right, still one backer away. You know what? I'll let you. I gotta take a piss anyway, so I'll let you keep talking for a second. So tell everyone about your biggest influences with this book.
Okay. Yep, I'll let you take a piss, and I'll do that. So yeah, my biggest influences are definitely, I already mentioned them. So John Wick, Succession, Max's Warrior. But this is actually, so I've been doing Kickstarting since 2012 was the last Kickstarter that I had successfully funded. And so I've been doing Kickstarting for a long time. But this is the first not super for work / mature audiences one that I've done. And it's one of those ones that I've actually sat on for a while that I wanted to do. This is a story that has, so for those who, all right, I'm just going to act like nobody knows me. So, which many probably don't. Japanese culture is a huge influence on my creativity in every way. I'm learning the language. I'm learning the culture. I'm learning the city landscapes. I'm learning the nuances of Japanese culture. But at the same time, because I'm a kid of the 80s, so, while Kung Fu theater was Chinese culture, for those who knew, Americans back in the day used to just throw every goddamn thing into Kung Fu theater. If it was Asian, it was Kung Fu theater. Right? You're laughing because you know. Yeah. And so, but while I'm a huge Bruce Lee fan, outside and the Shaw Brothers, and I'm looking at my DVD rack, Blu-ray rack, and I have a crap ton of their stuff. Akira Kurosawa was a huge influence in my life. I loved everything he did, and then when I found out he was connected to Star Wars, I'm like, holy shit! It just really brought my whole geek life together. So. A lot of my influence really is there. So if you want to know my influences, go watch Throne of Blood, go watch Ron, go watch any Seven Samurai, of course, Hidden Fortress. Go watch any Akira Kurosawa movie. And that's really my influence for, probably the heaviest influence for what you see in American Yakuza. And then throw in a little Quentin Tarantino, and I know that's funny and weird, but it's real. We don't shy away from the violence of the sex. I'll be honest with you. On page 5, I have had so many comments on page 5 from the first issue, where people were like, Bro, I was reading the book and I got to page 5 and I was like, what the? And it lost their mind because there's a let's just call it a rim shot on Act 1, page 5, where people would just stop reading and message me on one of the many social medias or Facebook or Kickstarter or whatever the hell, or email. And they're like, dude, what were you thinking? And then they keep reading and they're back in this book. So fantastic return on investment for the previous one. So the first issue, definitely, we've had a 90% return rate from the first issue to this issue, which is outstanding. Are you back from pissing? Are you good?
No, we're watching him piss in real time.
Real time.
Fun fact: Vaughn's pee and his hair are both the same color.
Well, I can't tell if he has a bottle under the counter or what he's doing there. You know,
No.
like, I've done that on the road before. Like you grab a 2-liter, you slap it on there.
God, no. By the way, Raphael, if you want the link, you're more than welcome. Everyone should get in touch with Raphael, one of the nicest guys in comics, always promotes everyone.
That's awesome.
But you said page 5. Are we talking of this book or which book?
Oh, page 5 for the first issue. So if you didn't back the first act, you can get the first act in either a physical or digital catch-up. Yep. There is a tier for physical and digital catch-up for this. So if you missed the first one, grab it in whatever format you prefer. We originally envisioned this as a 100-page graphic novel, and then as we talked about it, as we were producing the book, we decided to go ahead and split it up into individual components. We actually finished all the way through volume 3, and volume 4 is being started. So you can get a sense of our commitment to this, the completion of this story. And I'm actually working on a prequel manga for this that I'm going to release on Global Comics and Webtoon. So you guys can look forward to that too. It's dope, man.
That looks cool.
Yeah.
All right, everyone, make sure to check this out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks dope.
I gotta run, fellas.
You gotta go. All right.
Yeah, I gotta.
Yeah, I'll be having an
my
in
children.
and out. You guys can do whatever. I'm gonna be. I have to go live until 3 a.m. So you guys can do your own thing.
Well, good luck, Vaughn, Charlie, John as well. Thanks.
Yeah,
for
good luck to all you guys, man.
I got an early morning with the kids, but
thanks, brother. Understood. I take tomorrow off, so you're good.
Thank you so much, Vaughn.
Of course. Have a good one.
You too.
All right, so we have barely any time. I don't know where the hell to put my campaign link because I'm trying to get as many as I can on Kickstarter before I go. And I don't know where else to put it. I guess I just got to hope more people get it. But yeah, just one backer away, just one. So let's see what we could do, guys. Let's see what we could do. I don't know. But in the meantime, we got this. What else? I'm trying to see what else I could do or who else I could have on. Time's running out. Yeah, Raphael shared it. That's awesome. Did I share? Hang on. By the way, did I share your book? I didn't. Oh, I did. Someone else shared American Yakuza. All right, cool. Just making sure. But yeah, this has been a really fun stream so far. Looks like we've got more to go. And yeah.
What's going on? What do you want to do?
I don't know. Sorry, dead air. I didn't know what to do.
I was being polite. I talk too much, so I was just being
No. You can talk as much as you want, as long as you want. Let's see.
Yeah, and I went on mute. My bad. I was actually connecting my
Phenomenova looks better. Thank you. I know that guy. Yeah.
That guy's a douche, but you're okay.
Yeah. Oh man. I don't know. I had a list of stuff I wanted to talk about. What do we got? 26. Got 26. Dude, I don't know how the hell what I'm doing, man. 3 a.m. I might not even stay up the whole time. I don't know. But I'm going to just keep talking. I'm just going to keep talking. So, damn, that shipping discussion was kind of shorter than I expected. But there is a few.
So I
things,
missed that. So we can restart that one. What you got?
with the shipping.
Yeah.
With the whole. Well, basically, it was just I said two characters end up together, and people got very, very, very upset with me.
Oh. Well, I mean that happens when you put characters together, especially if they're your characters. People don't, they know better than you do anyway. So
Yeah. But that's it. Images and concept seems cool. Caught you on Danfen's stream earlier. Oh, thank you, man. Yeah, this has been my life's blood. The book is pretty much done. Again, I'll go through it as if it's the first time. Again, one backer away from getting this goal. So if we could get it, that'd be great.
So I got to ask you because I've known Buzz for like 13
Oh, you know
years.
Buzz?
Yeah, dude, I know his like. It's funny because I remember when I paid him the first time, he was like, "Bro, this is my real name. You can't tell people what my real name is and why I call myself Buzz." So did he do that to you too, or is he
No,
like?
his name was already out there by the time. How long ago did you pay him?
Oh, bro, seriously, 1998.
Oh, that's how long you've been doing comics?
So, yeah, I'll give you the short version of a really long story. But in '97, I wrote a book called The Covenant of Avalon. And it was when Darkstalkers had just gotten its first video game. Battle Chasers had just gotten their first 2 or 3 issues. It was the whole fantasy genre was new. And so I was already writing a fantasy book. I was like, this is dope. So I wrote a book. It was going to be a one shot. I talked to Eric Larson. Eric Larson and I spent like 2 hours on the phone at his personal phone number. He was like, yeah, I'm going to publish this. He was a publisher at Image at the time. I was like, sweet. He sent me contracts, whatever. We were going through the whole motions. And then like several things happened and it all fell to crap. So Larson, if you guys go back and look at the history, if you don't know it, so in '98, Image did a restructure, and the top 7 were no longer publishers or anything like that. Like they were not key drivers for the new books. So Larson approving my book was null and void. Eric Stevenson stepped in. He was the new publisher. He said, hey, no offense to anybody, but if you're not already on contract and in distribution, we're going to redo everything and you have to resubmit. I was like, shit. Okay, fine. So I'm resubmitting to Stevenson. At the same time that's happening, CrossGen Comics comes up. The CrossGen is now owned by Marvel, and they're doing omnibuses and stuff like that for all their books. CrossGen comes up out of nowhere. They hired not just my penciler, not just my inker, not just my colorist, but my letterer as well. So all 4 of my entire freaking creative team got hired by Andy Smith.
Andy? Andy's a good friend of mine.
Yeah, I love Andy. So are you in Charlotte?
No, I'm not in Charlotte, but I was there for Heroes Con.
Okay, yeah. So Andy's right there, right? So I see Andy. I love Andy. So I've known Andy for almost 30 years. So Andy gets hired by CrossGen. Freaking Andrew Dollhouse gets hired by CrossGen, and whatever. So go right down the list. My whole team leaves. I got nothing, and I'm like, I have 5 pages of semi-completed work. This is worthless. So that's when I started doing comics back then. Mike Barron had commented on my stuff, so I was pretty stoked about where I was going, and then everything fell to shit because CrossGen came up. So, and then Image backed out on the commitment to publish my work. So
damn. So do you still own the idea at all, or no?
Oh yeah. And actually, I'm working with. I hired another writer as a co-creator / work for hire, who is writing a Travis Gibb, if you guys know Travis. So Travis is writing a treatment for that main character for that same story. We just decided to revisit it and just freshen it up. So that's coming. I still own all that. And then a couple of books that I published. My first Kickstarter was in 2012. So funded, and that's how long I've been doing crowdfunding. So I am old, dude. I turned 49 on freaking Saturday, so like I'm old as shit.
Oh, gotcha. That's interesting. So you finally until crowdfunding, you weren't able to really do it.
Right. So I sat on things for, I don't know, half a decade plus, and then Kickstarter came out, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. I tried Kickstarter, played around with the first iteration of Kickstarter, like in their first year. It failed. It bombed out, partly because nobody knew what Kickstarter was and understood how it worked.
To newbies, you know, like I'm
Yeah.
a construction worker, and I was explaining my comic on Fund My Comic to my partners at work, and they were like, "Here's $10. Can I just buy your comic?" And I'm like, you know, you got to go to this website. They didn't want to do it. They didn't want to take out a credit card. They didn't want to pay for it. You know, like I made a
It was
card,
weird, right?
I made a card with a UPC symbol so they could scan it to go to the website. You know, it's really a bizarre concept. You know, so you know, when I not to cause controversy, but when people are like, guys, Eric July is taking your business, like, no, he's not. The world doesn't know who Eric July is. It's a tiny little bubble. The people don't know what crowdfunding is. The average comic book fan doesn't know we exist.
Yes.
So if one guy like the Vaughn doing kicking ass doesn't take away from me. You know what? So there's a whole market of people starving for comic books, for good, interesting I don't want to say content because I hate that word, but comics. And most people don't understand how crowdfunding works. It's an alien concept. So I just find this whole infighting thing going on right now in Comics Gate. War Comics. It's the most infantile, childish, short-sighted thing in the world, when we should all be going out there trying to get people to understand what's going on. And instead we think that guy's he's putting his hand in my pocket, stealing my money. No, the average person doesn't know either one of us exist.
Well, yeah, here's the thing.
Sorry to get crazy after being quiet for so long.
No, I totally agree with you, John. Like, here's the thing. Like, you know, people think that. So for example, Boom is on Kickstarter, and then I think Mad Cave just announced today that they're doing a Kickstarter. You know what that does? That brings audience members to you and to me if we're smart and if we take advantage of the opportunity.
Yeah.
Because to your point, most of the general public, including the comic book general public, doesn't realize that there's a whole world of comics out there.
Absolutely.
So whether it's Eric July or Ethan Van Sciver, or if it's I don't know, if it's the Boom Studios or the Keanu Reeves or the Mad Caves or Bad Bug or whoever, all they're doing is bringing more potential audience to me. It increases there's a word called TAM.
All boats.
There's a phrase, right? There's a phrase that's called TAM. And for those who are not into marketing, TAM is total addressable market. So what is your total addressable market? Well, it might be 400,000 people today, but then you get Keanu Reeves jumps in. Now all of a sudden your 400,000 becomes 4 million. That's your total addressable market. Those are people of whom you could take a small share, and if you are smart and if you do the work, you can pull a portion of their funding into your campaign. So Keanu being on Kickstarter doesn't hurt me. Keanu helps.
Yep.
I thought that was the funniest thing when people complained. Keanu Reeves doesn't need to do a Kickstarter. Well, Keanu Reeves is putting a spotlight on the fact that
there is Kickstarter. You know?
Yes. Do you know how many people, guys at work, like I said, just regular salt of the earth construction workers, you know, drinking a beer, watching football, they don't know what.
No idea.
You know, and my foreman is still like, I'm not buying it. He's like, because when you have a comic book and you can put it in my hand, I'll buy it from you. You know what I mean? They don't trust it. They don't like it. So I thought when what was it called? Berserker, the Keanu Reeves book?
Yeah, Berserker.
It was a great opportunity. Like everybody and their brother should be like, yeah, I'm doing exactly what Keanu Reeves is doing. You know, it's good enough for Keanu Reeves. You know, everybody loves Keanu Reeves, but instead people are like, he has to do Kickstarter. That guy could pocket. No.
Oh, no. More people spent time complaining about it in the Kickstarter community than they actually took advantage of it. So while everybody else is complaining, oh, Keanu is on the same platform as me, I'm sitting there going, look, I'm on the same platform as Keanu. See, you got to flip the script and make it work for you.
Absolutely. 100%. 100%.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I agree with this guy Charlie McGee in the chat.
Mick
over
Elvey,
That's
there.
him.
My last
That's
name
him.
is up. It's butchered all the time, so you're good.
My
Yeah.
last name gets butchered all the time.
No, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's so stupid. And everyone needs to market. Speaking of, guys, we are one backer away from my goal. Come on, we got 6 people in chat. Can we make it by the end of the night? I'm not
Hey,
sure.
Vaughn, I had somebody message me and asked me because they saw me in the stream. They said, "Hey, does he have a digital?"
No, I don't. But here's what I want you. Here's what I will do. If you go to my website, Rebel. RebelOasisStudios.com. You could join my mailing list, and eventually I will make a this is right now just a landing page, but it will be a full website with a digital version later. So if they want to join, I'll put that link in the private chat, or I don't know where your friend is, but
I don't either. It was not my friend. It's just somebody on social that hit me up. So just this is going to sound like a criticism, Vaughn. Don't take it this way, but it is a thing. So comics has changed, right?
Oh yeah.
And again, I've been in Kickstarter land since 2012. If you're not catering to the digital backers and the digital readers, you're missing a huge part of your total addressable market. So all of you who are thinking about getting a Kickstarter or Zoop or crowdfunder or Fund My Comic or Indiegogo or whatever the hell platform you choose, you must have at least a baseline digital reward level for these folks to jump into. They'll likely grab your trade when you decide to do trade because that's what they're doing with the mainstream books. And so you got to cater to what they're. If you look at manga, if you follow the trends of manga physical, individual, like Shonen Jump, magazine, and those things, they're all down in sales on the physical side. Yet 100% of them are up in sales. You talk to Viz, you talk to Seven Seas, you talk to the guys over at Shonen Jump, you talk to any of the manga publishers. They're all up in digital. What's going on? Well, the tankobons, the collected editions, what we call trade paperbacks in the Western countries, those are selling like hotcakes. The floppies, as we call them, the individual issues, the single issues, those are not selling as well. And that's why we keep seeing that comics are dying narrative, which is BS. Comics are not dying. The format, the comics are changing. And if we're not pivoting to evolve and adapt with what's going on in the marketplace, your market's going to die, and my market's going to die, and your market. If we pivot and focus on digital, and then the collected editions, and make value a conversation piece, what is my value? When I back a book, what's my value? Okay, you get a physical book. Great. What's my value? Well, that's a great question, right? And so if you're not catering to the value conversation, if you're not catering to the digital conversation, you're probably not funding your book as quickly and as easily as you should be. And that's the thing I've learned over the last 13 years plus on Kickstarter, and watching the markets. And I'm a huge manga reader. I read a shitload of manga. And yes, I know I'm old. I shouldn't be reading manga apparently because I'm over 40, but
Luke, what do you mean? What's wrong? There's not an age limit. Indiegogo doesn't have.
That's what I said. Somebody was
Here's the thing.
read
So I have a
manga?
question because my plan was because I want a digital, but I didn't want to send a PDF, honestly, because I know those get out. So what I wanted to do is have it on my website to direct people to.
Yeah. So one way to deliver your books, if you want to do more digital, is like I use Shopify. Shopify and a couple of plugins, and I have to go look what the plugins are. Yeah, I can actually direct Kickstarter backers who do digital to my actual Shopify store with a code where they can download, and that download is then watermarked with their order number and their email address and so forth, so that if I want to secure it and minimize or eliminate, which I never believe is true. I work in IT, so I know it's not true. piracy, then you can do that with Shopify and just a couple of quick plugins. And if anybody wants to talk to me about that offline, any of the creators, I can show you. I can tell you what plugins I use and how to do that. So in the meantime, back Phenomenova. It's a gorgeous looking book.
Thank you.
Yep.
And we just hit 300 backers. Thank you, guys. There we go. Your book looks awesome too, by the way. Well, I said that, but I'll say it again. All right, so
I appreciate that, brother.
Hold on. I'm going to finish up this, and then we're going to take a shot because that's what I promised. That is a goal that we have hit. Now, in the next 9 minutes, is it possible to hit 2,000? Probably not, but we'll see. But 300 backers, that means everyone watching this stream will get this trading card, which is not even colored yet, but this trading card absolutely free with your order. So make sure you do that.
Cool. I'm gonna get going though, Vaughn. My wife is calling me.
Sounds good.
I wanted to be here.
I told a friend of mine he bought a copy now. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Joshua. How'd you do that? Everyone, all 6 of us. Listen, you could come in. You have the link, Dean James. Gotta piss too much ale. Oh, thank you guys. We did it. We did it, guys. This is awesome. All right. This is a big shot, man. That was a. Did you hear that pour? Woo! Down the hatch. All right. God. I'm almost finished work. And then you will be finished work. So you're unfinished work. Interesting. Interesting phrasing. All right, guys. We are down to the wire. Come on. Come on. 43 backers. How far can we get? Can we get to 2K? Can we get to 2K? I don't know. All right, let's figure it out. All right, let's go. Oh, boys. 6 minutes. All right, we got this. We got this. Thank you, man. Oh, wait. Thank you, dude. You rock. Wow. Thank you, man. That's awesome. Oh. All right. 43 backers. That's great. And then we're going to tally up the score. But let's see, how much further can we go? How much further can we go? Whew. We did it. Let's see. Did we get any Indiegogo? But I haven't refreshed on there, by the way. On my comic, none today, right? All right, cool.
I just want to say I'm actually one more backer on American Yakuza, and we hit the magic number, the 69 backers. Come on.
Come on, guys.
Dude.
69?
Yeah, refresh that. Yeah, we're at 68 backers.
Oh, so
there
does
you
it
go.
not refresh automatically then?
It sometimes does. So
That's what we got. Kickstarter, I do like that about Kickstarter. Other sites don't do that.
I know.
Kickstarter,
yeah,
I got to learn better. But all right, digital. So you said it directs you to, because if there was a way they could back through Kickstarter to get, if there's I got to think of something creative like, oh, Kickstarter, if you want digital, you could go back it through here because I would love to direct them to, because I just don't want to send out PDFs. I'd rather have it on my website.
Yeah. So your fulfillment is dependent upon you. You can do it through WeTransfer, which would be obviously kind of open, Dropbox transfer, which is kind of open, direct Dropbox, which is kind of open. But you can actually create a digital tier on your Kickstarter. The backers, because it waits till the end of the campaign before you are even starting fulfillment, you got the end of the campaign plus 2 weeks, because it takes 2 weeks for them to pay you, to figure out how to get this done. But the short version is what you can do, Vaughn, is you can actually create a digital tier, have backers back it. Great. They get nothing until the campaign ends and you fund. So this campaign ending plus 2 weeks, you get 14 days before you really have to get into fulfillment mode. And even then, you're not obligated to fulfill immediately. What you can do is through Shopify and let me see what the tools are called.
Because I haven't made my website yet. One of my friends uses Wix and her website is pretty, but she's also said Shopify is good. So
Wix is, I've used Wix, I've used Shopify. My preference is Shopify. That's
all right. Tell me why.
Because it's extensible. It's way more extensible than Wix is. So there's a ton more plugins and plugin companies that are building features that allow me to extend Shopify's features well beyond SquareUp or Wix. And I think it's the nature of the community that they built. So, for example, on Shopify, I have the following. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different extensible apps that are not, they're third party. They're not Shopify. All right. One of them is sales pop-up. So it's pop-up ads that I can create for my Kickstarters or new books or my mailing list or whatever the hell I want to do. Bulk discount code bot. So that's one where I can create, for example, a bunch of unique discount codes can be used once or twice or whatever I determine. And those codes are unique. And so each of those codes, I can create it as 16-digit characters. I tend to prefer that. So it's 4-4-4-4 that I can send out to people on cards or emails or whatever saying, hey, you get an exclusive discount code.
Okay, that's how it works, the digital?
Yep. One, I have FileMonk.
I'm gonna have to,
allow.
by the way, I'm gonna make sure I have you added on
dude,
Facebook.
Because I'll show you all the tools that I use. But once you add these to Shopify, they take Shopify to the next level, whether it's email marketing, whether it's ad marketing campaigns, whether it's reviews, whether it's pirate shipping.
Well, does Shopify allow the website to be like very, because I almost want to have it like have character portfolios, whatever, stuff like that. I'd love that.
Whatever you want. So here's the thing.
You can?
So like for me, Shopify, you go to shop.zionstudios, Zion with an X, shop.zionstudios.com, that's my store. But if you go to zionstudios.com, that's my website. Two totally different, like one's a domain, one's a subdomain. And so you can actually make your main website whatever the hell you want. And then your store, the Shopify store, is just your store. That's all you're focused on with that. So you can make it, voncoleman.shop.com or voncoleman.com/shop or whatever the hell you want it to be, or phenomenova.com/shop.
Oh, shit.
shop.
I got to be focusing on, speaking of which, I got to.
Yeah.
Hang on.
11
11 seconds. Oh, my God. I forgot to look at my own campaign. Okay. Hold on. Fuck.
You're good, dude.
That shot went right to my head. We're closed out on Kickstarter. Thank you, guys. Thank you to all 43 of you for backing. Next time I'll do a better job promoting Kickstarter, getting out with the community. What are the best? So I heard sign-up lists is the big thing with Kickstarter, right?
My opinion, if you want it, if you give a shit,
Yeah.
is
Of course, dude. I give a shit because first of all, I'm a first-time creator. So like, yes, I started on Fund My Comic or raised over 13K, but I want to make a lot on every platform. And most people I almost equate Kickstarter to like YouTube, right?
Yeah. It's big, but it's also massive, meaning you can get lost in the weeds if you're not doing the right
But at
thing.
least they like Indiegogo shadow bans people. I don't know if you know about that.
I did know that.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. Like they shadow ban Graham Nolan. Like if you shadow the creator of Bane is on your site and you're gonna shadow ban him, like it's so dumb. It's like if I looked up Graham Nolan, like I could find campaigns some years ago, but not his current campaign. Sure, the comic will be great. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, I've worked really hard and I just did some revisions. The book is almost done. Means the world. By the way, since I'm just getting to know you, I apologize. I'll take it easier on the promoting from here forth. But
don't
I'm
ever
curious.
take it easier on promoting.
Well,
Are you
know what I
kidding?
mean? You know what I mean?
No, dude. Listen, you're talking to a guy who says that marketing is a comic book skill. Like it's.
Oh, it is. I agree. Well, they suck
100%.
at marketing. That's why the comic book industry failed for how many decades? You know, is they don't know what they're doing. Dude, like I was right for the pickings and there was no comics near me. Like I'd love to get my comics in stores and stuff, but it's not viable. And honestly, it was like, I'll tell you this, it was free comic book day. I was with John, who was here earlier, John's Longbox. And we both like joke. It was an unspoken thing. We were looking at the free comics and we go, dude, it's free comic book day. And I don't even want the current Marvel comics. Like that's where we're at. Like
dude, I grabbed the Flash Gordon. I grabbed the Turtles one. And there was like 2 others and that was it.
Yeah. And it's sad because I grew up on these characters, but it's like, well, if they'll change them in a dime? You know, and I tweeted this the other day. It says a lot. Marvel has Chris Claremont on their exclusive payroll and they will not let him write X-Men. He wants to write X-Men. They refuse to let him.
The book that I grew up on was the 2 books that I grew up on and that influenced me the most in my comic book writing were, guess what? Chris Claremont's X-Men.
Yep. That's the run that made me want to write comics.
And Wolfman and Perez's Teen Titans.
Dude, no way. And I haven't finished Wolfman and Perez's Teen Titans, but I've read the first 4 volumes. I want to finish it. Yes, those are two of my favorite writers. And you notice how that transcends time too. This is one of the things I can't stand. People, that's old. And then I'm sorry, I was reading, and I hate when people say it's nostalgia, because in college I got into Chris Claremont's X-Men run, right? Where is it? Oh wait, literally all here. Not a whole hand can't even fit it. I'm reading it. Well, I consider Claremont's X-Men run to be. I'm also reading all the spin-offs, but you know that's what got me into comics. But it's like I remember starting reading that. I started with Giant Size X-Men #1, which I consider part of Claremont's run, even though it's not, because Claremont's run.
But yeah, I mean, you have Cockrum and stuff. Yeah, exactly. So
yeah, it's jump started that whole era, right?
Right.
I started reading that in college. And then House of X and Powers of X came out. Now, I thought at first I was recommending it to everyone because I loved it. I was like, oh my God. I was so excited for the twist reveal that they were all brainwashed and that because the X-Men would never do this. And that's why I loved it. And I had heard that modern comics had gone off the rails, but it's one thing to see panels and stuff from people posting and hear YouTube videos. And it's another to have paid money for it and hold it in your hand. And I could not believe that, because I was like, the reveal's not coming. They're not brainwashed. Like, this is genuine writing. And I was I was like, all right, this went from one of the best runs to one of the worst ones, like that. Because I was like, the X-Men would never do this. And it went against everything that the team was about. And this is one of the reasons why I say in an age of cynicism, my comic is a reconstruction and reconstitution of the superhero genre, because I feel like it's being bastardized, right? Like Claremont, I'm sure you've probably met him at conventions, right?
Yep. Yeah.
You know,
I'll see him again in Baltimore this year.
Modern comics. I might be at Baltimore. If you bring up modern X-Men, he goes off. Like, he is so angry. And I've talked to his son about it too. His son's really cool. I've talked like them about it too. Like, he is so angry, and I don't blame him, because again, and then one of the things too is when people say it's just nostalgia. I was reading this in comics, and then House of Powers of X were coming around at the same time that I was reading like this volume, right? Like, during this volume, I think I stopped to read House of X, Powers of X. I liked House of Powers of X, but then I kept going. I was like, this is weird. First of all, Marauders. Why was Kitty Pryde being like glorified for being an alcoholic and like being mean to kids? Because the old, what you know what bothered me the most was the way Kitty Pryde, because Kitty Pryde was like 13 when she's introduced. I was like, why is she more mature as a 13-year-old kid
than anybody else on the team? Yeah.
Well, not even just that, than she is as an adult.
Yeah.
It wasn't just that. Like, if I can have a character who's an alcoholic and does things, but like when Wolverine would do something bad, they would treat it like it's something bad, right? But when they do something bad in the current comics, they treat it as, well, the world is bad, therefore you have to do bad. And I'm like, that's not what superheroes are. There's no what I like about superheroes, and I'm not saying I can't have flawed characters. You absolutely can have flawed characters.
But there's got to be a point to it, right?
The problem is that there's no idealism anymore. Everything's cynicism. Everything is just like mean-spirited, it feels like the boys. I loved it at first. I loved the first season, but it just became like, I feel like the people who write this show like hate humanity. And I was like,
I mean, I'll be honest. I watched the first season. I was like, oh, this is great. And I started watching the second season, and I was like,
yeah, second season fell out.
The fourth season, yeah, I honestly never watched a single episode.
It gets worse.
I didn't finish the second season, and I didn't start the third season. So clearly, I didn't. The fourth.
It also, not to get into it, but it got too, not even just political, like very partisan. And I don't have a problem with people having it as long as it's a good story and it doesn't get away with it. But it felt like I was in college getting a lecture, and I was like, this is not fun. Like, this sucks. Like, Claremont's run, like, he'd have definitely his moments with politicians and whatever, but it was always the story came first, and there was always a reason to keep reading. It felt like The Boys was just moments in between lectures, and I was like, I don't like this. This isn't fun. No. And that's how it feels about a lot of comics and entertainment today, honestly.
Yeah, my co-writer Stokes actually had this gripe about season 4. He stuck through Boys season 4. He's like, this whole writing crew needs to be shot. He's like, because his statement was, it's fine. You were like, for example, you were poking fun at the MAGA Trump guys. He said, but the point is that they went so over the top overt that the story got lost in the politics, not the other way around.
And another problem I had with it, and again, and I always say this on my channel, like, I'm open to all views and whatever, I think that's important. And I think people get in this area where, like, I only want people with these views back. No, that's not the case. Like, Claremont was very openly liberal, right? But if you go to a convention, his fans are all over the place. He has fans that are like, and that's because that's the product of good writing and because he used human themes. My problem is that The Boys was originally a commentary, I felt, at least the show, on the entertainment industry. And then they started swinging to like MAGA politics. Now, I don't have this like super big devotion to Trump or whatever. Whether you like him or not, I don't give a shit. My whole problem was, I was like, well, this isn't believable, because every time an actor speaks in support of him, they get like screamed at. And I'm supposed to believe that this show that was about the entertainment industry is now about this. And I'm like, these are two totally different things. Focus on one and comment on it. But when you do both and act like they're interchangeable, I was like, that doesn't make sense. That was my whole thing. It just took me out of the world, because I was like, I just don't buy this. And it felt contradictory to the show's themes. And it felt like the show had an identity crisis. And that was my problem. And I also think when you write from a place of spite, when you're not writing for people who are your fans, but instead are writing for people to own the people you don't like, and I don't care who you are, that's a problem, right? Like, I remember one of my drafts of my script, I wrote from like a very angry place, and I said, my kid self would hate this, and so I discarded it.
Well, and I'll say this, like, I never write for spite. In fact, just the other day, or maybe it was yesterday, I forget, but I commented on Facebook. I was like, somebody came to me and said, "You're too positive and you're too nice," and I was like, I don't know how to respond to that. So that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, when the hell is somebody too nice and too positive? Like, fuck you, move
Yeah.
on. If you don't like my positivity, go away. And that's literally what I ended up saying. I was like, so my point is this: is like, if you don't write from you, then it's not. It's if you're writing to cater to somebody else outside of yourself, you're probably not doing as good a job as you could be. If you're writing for you and the you who wants to read this, then it may not be perfect, but at least what you're doing is you're writing to an audience. You figured out who your audience is, and you're writing to them. Now, to that same point, if somebody comes along and they're writing a Marvel book and they're hired and they want to write to whatever that audience is, anti-Trump or anti-Biden or far left, far right, or whatever the heck, pick your thing. They have to recognize that yes, dude, Tate, I'm telling you, somebody literally tell me, this is not the first time I've heard it. I'm too nice on social media. But my point is that if you're going to write to that specific audience, fine, but recognize that now
It's a
you have
limited audience.
limited your audience. Exactly my point.
And that's why I'm proud to have like my comic. Like, I'm part of the reason, for example, if you notice, so my people, and I don't even know the views of my creative team, to be honest. I don't get, and to be more honest, I don't give a shit as long as you're willing to like focus on the work, be respectful. I don't care. But like, for example, Buzz, there were certain people that asked Buzz for a cover, and he was like, "I'm not doing that because you promote based on politics." He goes, "I don't care what your views are, that's fine. But if you're going to promote and make it entirely about this, I'm not doing it." Buzz is like, "Yeah, I focus on the art form."
Right.
Buzz, Irene,
And by the
Jules.
way, having known Buzz for almost 20 years, that's consistent with how he's been forever.
Yeah. Buzz does not care if you're overtly political in my things. In fact, that's why there was a certain artist, I won't go too into detail, that got very mad at me on a stream and was pissed at me on my launch day. They were mad because Buzz refused to do a cover for them, but did a cover for me instead. And it was because I was nice and because I market based on the art form. And I'm not afraid to give an opinion here or there, but that's not my primary goal. And I know I have backers of varying views, Yeah.
I'm sure I do too. And I think kind of to your point is I don't get into that because I don't write to a view. I write to tell a story.
Yep.
That story might cater to one view or another, but that's not the intention of the story necessarily.
It shouldn't be.
The whole reason I did Spider Squirrel in the first place, which was my most successful, my flagship character, is I wanted to have those buddy cop action comedy, ridiculous, stupid comics that just don't exist anymore. That have there's no gravitas, there's no impending doom, except for whatever the story of the day is. Just two guys. It's Blue Beetle and Booster Gold back in Giffen days.
I need to read that run. I need to first of all, his final tweet, or his final post. Let me just, legendary. I never read Justice League International. I've been told is one of the funniest runs ever. I never read it.
Love it. Dude, you get the one Batman to Guy Gardner. Like iconic punches in history. Yes. It's great. That came from that run, right?
Yeah.
So love that run. You really should read that run. It's worth buying the omnibus and just reading the whole stupid thing because it's so good. It's funny. It's fun. It's irreverent. It's there is depth to it too. That's the thing that people miss is they think it's written all comedic, and it's not just comedic. There's a humanity to it. There's a depth to it. There's almost a politics to it. If you, based on today's temperature, because give a shit. They give a shit about the persons. They give a shit about the what is it? The needs of the few outweigh the needs of the many. It inverts that sometimes, and so it says sometimes the one matters more than the many, and so it's a great run. It's worth reading. There's almost zero. It's in fact, most of the politics is either inferred, implied by the writer.
What is this? Just like international still?
It's good. I highly recommend it. Highly recommend it.
Yeah, I've heard nothing, but I haven't heard anyone be like, I heard that. That's a run I haven't read. I haven't really read anything with Ted Cord. I want to. Most of the stuff I read is generally older. A lot of 80s, which I think. I mean, I'm biased toward it, but I think greatest decade, maybe. Well, I don't know.
And that's where Ted came from, right? So Ted came out of Crisis on Infinite Earths. So
right.
we didn't have Ted prior to that. So yeah, dude, go read it. I'm telling you, like download digital, find it somewhere. Yeah, for sure. Good shit. But that's what I did with Spider Squirrel. Like I have two guys, they're just fighting crime. Like, oh, somebody popped up in my city, I gotta go beat them up. Like it's just that simple. There's nothing more to it than that. It's fun. It's meant to be funny. It's irreverent. I kind of poke fun at the whole multiverse thing.
Oh yeah.
Which I didn't know actually when the book was published. It was published before Doctor Strange 2, the Multiverse.
Oh, that movie was stupid.
Yeah.
What a waste of time.
Guess who got sucked into that, right? So because I published a book that was like the Indie Comics multiverse, and people are like, oh, it's like Doctor Strange. I'm like, yeah, it's like Doctor Strange, only because Doctor Strange is what you know, but it came out like 6 months before it was even announced. So whatever. It is what it is. Yeah. Oh no, no complaint. If you have an idea, 500 other people have the idea. Some of them probably work at Marvel or DC. It is what it is.
Yeah. No, exactly. Exactly.
I do.
No, yeah, 100%. By the way, guys, we have 3 hours left on Indiegogo. I'm debating how long I want to keep this stream going.
I was going to ask you, like, you're funded.
Well, on Kickstarter, I don't know. I don't know if I want to stay up till 3 a.m. We'll see. I drank coffee before this, so I don't know. Let me count. You know what? Let's count out how far we've come. So we have 300 backers, 300, which is great. So that is one goal for the night. Now, the other goals for the night, let's see how much we made across the campaigns. So 1,735 plus we are at 1,040. Oh, wait, hang on, let me go back. I accidentally hit clear. 1,000. All right. Holy shit. We crossed 16,000. Thank you guys so much. All right. That was another goal for the night. I did not expect to hit that. Thank you guys so much. You guys rock. So this is my second shot. Because of that, we've hit 2 goals tonight. And then I'm going to calculate the rest. But yeah, you could stay or go as long as you want, by the way. You're not under any obligation. But it's honestly, I threw that link in the group and I was like, who could I meet? And this is a great connection. Oh wait, hang on. Let me make sure I friend you on Facebook, by the way. Mick, come on. That's so funny. You mentioned you work with Mike Barron, by the way, you said?
No, so I didn't work with Mike. So my first script I ever created, I sent to Mike just on a whim in '97. He compared me to Roy Thomas.
Oh, that's cool. You know what's funny? I've actually never read it. I've met Roy, but I haven't read his stuff. I just know his characters. Oh, you know Sukeisha Ray?
Oh, probably. I know a lot of people. Holy shit.
Okay, because I friends list. Because she's one of my cover artists. That's why I asked.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah, I see her now. I was like, yep. She printed me somewhere along the way. I don't remember when exactly, but yeah.
Good friend of mine. Yeah, Baltimore I might go to. I'm gonna see if I have any.
What's that?
Baltimore I might go to. I'm gonna see if I have any friends.
Yeah, dude, I'll be there as a guest. So I'll be hanging out with Dean Haspel and a few other folks. So for sure. Last year I was fortunate enough to be across from. I had Howard Chaykin across from me on my left, and I had the Simonsons, both of them, across from me on the right. So that was great. Getting to do dinner with those guys and meet them. That was fantastic. That was like
That's
a nerd's dream come true. Yeah.
That's awesome. The Simonsons are some of the sweetest people ever.
Holy crap! Are you've never lied on that one? That's yes.
Like they are, like some of my favorite people I've met.
Well, it's funny. So we hit it off with them, the Simons. My wife and I hit it off with the Simonsons and Howard. We had dinner together and stuff like that. And the Reverend Dave Johnson, and Mark and Shelley Nathan, of course, came over. But that was last year in Baltimore, and it was funny. I got home from Baltimore, and like Louise had friended my wife and ignored me, and I was like, "Son of a! I'm the one who makes comics. Like, what the hell?" It was pretty funny. So she and Wheezy hit it off before me and Wheezy did. It was great.
I mean, I just read some of her New Mutants issues with Rob Liefeld yesterday. Now, I'm getting to Extinction Agenda.
Oh, what a great run. Holy crap.
Because I'll show you my X-Men reading order, but it's like nuts because I've been reading it kind of chronological, kind of not. And it's been crazy. Hold on. We are, all right, so 53, I'm seeing how many copies have sold total. So 53 copies sold on Kickstarter. Then we got, okay, I have to stop sharing my screen so I can look at this.
Yep.
Oh, a Perks report. Oh, I could do it this way. All right, never mind. Oh, or, you know what? I'm still, whatever. I don't feel like sharing it. There's 5 plus, I've been obsessively doing this, plus 2 plus. Buzz's variant was a late addition, but since adding it, people have been like, this is my favorite cover. So it's probably made the least because when I launched, that's when I got my most backers. But maybe towards the end I'll pick up more, but like in terms of new backers, I think it's the most popular variant.
That's awesome. No, I'm glad to see Buzz still kicking it. We met in 2005, and back then I was actually running a print shop, and so I printed Buzz's banner for the next con season. So before Vistaprint and all that other stuff got popular, I actually my Grell was a customer of mine. He printed a bunch of stuff through me for friends and family for Christmas gifts. Funny enough, so that was good times. That was back in the day. That was before I started writing and actually producing comics and doing a thing. Let's see.
All right. Plus. All right, so I'm not gonna hit 600 backers tonight, it seems like, but I am over 550, which is good. So that's fun. That's really, Buzz is one of the funniest people I know. I'm gonna host, by the way, because Billy agreed to it. I'm gonna host a drawing competition between Billy Tucci and Buzz at some point.
I'll see Billy in Baltimore.
Billy is one of my closest friends in comics. Like, I love Billy. He's so funny.
I met Billy years ago. My wife used to read, so she's a huge She fan, Kabuki fan, but she was also a huge She fan back in the day. She doesn't read as much She anymore, but she collects the Kabuki stuff from David Mack. So anyway, both of those Japanese characters were big influences of my wife's comic book life. So meeting Billy was a big thing for her. It was cool. He's a good dude. I see him every year in Baltimore. We shoot the crap.
Billy is one of my closest friends in comics. Love Billy. Great guy. He's one of the first guys to really. There's a quote from him in my trailer. He's one of my favorites. Love that guy.
Nice.
He's all right. Yeah, he'll call me up. He was at San Diego Comic-Con. He made a point of calling me up on my birthday. He's like, "Hey man, happy birthday!" Great guy. Love Billy.
Well, you got to bring your ass down to Baltimore. And where are you located, by the way?
Well, it'll be up actually because I'm in New Jersey.
Oh, nice. Yeah. What part of Jersey you in?
Central. I'm like right by the shore. Like there's like that. If you look at New Jersey, there's like the little hook, Sandy Hook, that's right by me.
Yeah. So no, I know Baltimore. I know Jersey well. Actually, I ran Ninja Warrior. I stayed in when I was on Ninja Warrior TV show. I stayed in Cherry Hill, Camden area. So I know Jersey a little too well because I also worked in Deptford. I worked in North Brunswick. I worked in Cherry Hill. I worked in Trinity, Paramus. I've been all over the place, man. So I know Jersey.
Yeah, Paramus. I remember. Yeah, all right. So I live. Wait, where are you? You live in Charlotte, but where are you from originally?
No, I'm in Virginia actually. So yep. I'm originally from Virginia, and I still live here in Virginia. But I've like customers of mine in my day job, like or Mercedes, which are up in Jersey. They're up near Newark, just outside the airport, actually. Yeah, all the way down to South Carolina. So I know the whole East Coast geography pretty freaking well. And I lived in Jersey. I lived in Trinity when I was a kid.
Trinity?
Yep.
Wait, where is that? Because I'm in Monmouth County.
It's over in the garden area, the farmland. So it's nothing to anybody. Nobody knows where Trinity is anymore.
Dude, I should know my own because it's a small ass state, but I don't really.
No, you're good.
I'm like, if I'm going, this is the problem. My gen, and I'll be honest, it's my generation. Like, we're just like, oh, Google Maps. Okay, cool. We got directions. Let's go. So I don't really know. I know like my vicinity, and then I know key locations. Like Garden State Comic Fest is in New Jersey, so I know where that is. Right?
Yep.
Like that's Morristown. But like I don't know, dude.
Nah, yeah, it's northeast of Deptford. So you think it's really like in the country for real. Like I lived on a corn farm with chickens and roosters, and next to
Wow, Real Garden State. See, I'm not in Real Garden State. I'm in where I'm at. There's no gardens to be found near me.
Bro, I wasn't off the turnpike. I was way off.
Well, you lived off there, but were you born off there, or were you?
No, I was born in Virginia. Yeah, I was born in the hood in Virginia. So like,
okay, what part? Because I don't know if I've ever really. Well, I went there for my friend's. What the hell was it? Like my friend's wedding shower in Virginia. But
what part of Virginia was that?
Fuck. Hold on.
What airport did you fly into?
Oh, we didn't. It was the boy. So my friend, so I went to film school, right? And we filmed my friend's movie in Connecticut. And then days later, we drove down from Connecticut to Virginia. So we didn't fly into an airport. We drove. Fuck, why am I forgetting where he lived? Maybe it's good that I'm not doxing my. Well, I haven't. Anyway, we went to Virginia. Oh, shit. I mean, I wasn't on directions. I was just in the car, so I wasn't.
Yeah, you're good.
So it was a him problem,
Yeah. So,
but we used to always make fun of my friend, like, "Oh, you're from the South,"
Well, so here's the funny part about Virginia. Like I joke all the time. Like we live in the bastard child of the Civil War. Like the North won't claim Virginia; they say we're the South. But you talk to anybody from North Carolina or south of that, they say we're the North. And so you can't win for losing as Virginians. So we're just like, well, whatever. What do you want us to be? That's who we are. We don't give a shit anymore. But yeah, Virginia is kind of weird because, for example, like if you're in Reston, which is Northern Virginia, that's 6 hours away from Roanoke, Virginia, which is southwestern Virginia, because it's a weird shaped state. And it's bigger than people think it is. We have a shitload of naval bases and Marine Corps bases and just military bases in general. Actually, we have more than any other state in the world. So, that being said, Virginia's funky, the geography here. So when people ask where I'm from, I just say DC or Richmond. I pick like some big state because nobody knows where I'm from. So. I can tell you, it takes me five hours to get Manhattan, 5 hours to get to South Carolina.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, I don't know if I've been to South Carolina, but to North Carolina, but not South. Dude, Heroes Con is one of my favorites. So my favorite, Terrific Con is my favorite, which I'm going to soon.
Never been to Terrific Con. That's on my bucket list. Yeah.
Terrific Con. So hang on, I missed because I was at Tampa Bay Comic Con last year, which I may go to this year. I'm not sure. But Terrific Con, 100% going to. Terrific Con. They got Jim Lee as a guest this year, but it was the 60th anniversary of X-Men, but my friends were at Tampa Bay Comic Con, so I'm always put my friends first. So I put Tampa Bay Comic Con. I went there, and I worked the table. But it was the 60th X-Men anniversary. But the rest of Chris Claremont, which I'm almost done with his run. I'm close. So Chris Claremont's going to be there. Jim Lee is going to be there. Mark Wade's going to be there. See, what's funny? I never read Scott Snyder's run, even though that was when I was just getting comics. There's reason for that. I've heard it's amazing. The first New 52 comic I read off the shelf, because this is why I never got into standalone issues, was the Mr. Freeze one, which apparently is the one bad issue in his whole fucking run.
I don't remember that one. I just remember the quarter.
Horrible. So I just assumed the whole New 52 was bad, and I just like, all right. And apparently I missed one of the best runs in modern comics history because I just read that one issue and I was like, this is dog shit. And then I never read New 52. Well, actually, that's not true. I read some New 52 Aquaman. I never finished it, but I liked what I read. Walt Simonson. So I guess Louise is going to be there. I read New Mutants 93, 94 last night, which I don't know. Like New Mutants 93. My problem is when Cable joins the team. I understand people like Cable. My problem is that it just becomes a different series.
Yeah, it went from being a bunch of young kids with superpowers who didn't know what the hell they were doing to this militaristic kind of.
Which, to be fair, I think is an interesting dynamic. But the problem is, they had just lost Magma, Magic, and Sunspot, back to back to back. Or not Sunspot. Hang on, Magic, Magma, and Mirage. So it was Danny. Yeah, I love Danny. So those are some. Well, Magma is one of those characters. She's so fucking cool, and from her introduction, I felt like she was I talked about this on my stream the other day. She was immediately overshadowed by because she was introduced, and right after she got her first appearance, they introduced Magic, and then suddenly Magma was overshadowed. And but Magma is such a cool character design. I love Magma, and she barely does anything. She feels like an afterthought. She's objectively the most powerful New Mutant, and then she does nothing the whole time. She feels like an afterthought, and I hated it. Now, to be fair, I'm also a fan of Doug Rand. Oh, Jim Starlin.
I love Starlin. All his cosmic stuff was my childhood for sure.
I gotta be honest with you, I barely read any Starlin. I've read Death in the Family, which, by the way, apparently he hated Robin. He told me.
Yeah. No,
I didn't realize he had a personal hate. He genuinely hates Robin. Bart Sears is such a sweetheart. I was just hanging out with Bart.
So it's funny. So I've known Andy for 30 years.
You never met Bart?
Yeah, I've never met Bart in person.
I met Bart first. I've never had
Bart on the phone, but yeah.
I'll have Bart on my channel at some point, I'm sure. But I met Bart first at Garden State Comic Fest, and I worked at Phenom Comics, where he worked, but I never met Bart. Bart's is such a nice.
Great lineup, and Bart's art was my childhood, right? Because Wizard.
I've never read any of his stuff, and I feel bad because I met him. He's such a sweet guy.
Yeah.
I want to hire him for something. He said he'd work for me on something, but I
JLGL is the GOAT, but he's awesome.
Jose Luis Garcia Lopez is so sweet. He's such a sweet
Dude,
guy.
and they finally have released his style guide for the public consumption, which is awesome. David Mack, another great, my wife's favorite artist.
My first published work has a David Mack cover, so I did a 10-page short story in tragedy. I want to write. You know Phil. I'm sure you know Phil Russert, right?
Yeah, I know.
I met him at Baltimore actually. So
Yeah,
this my first published work is in the back of this book. It's a 10-page short story that I'd love to expand on. Phil Russert, great guy, good friend of mine. Love the guy. This one, Lee Weeks is so sweet. But yeah, David Mack, I'd love to get him to sign my first book. Lee Weeks, great guy.
Yep.
Brian, I've heard Stealth
is awesome. Yeah.
Klaus Janson, love him. I think personally, and this might be look, Frank Miller's one of my favorite writers, and I think he does some of the best covers. His Daredevil run, I think, I haven't read a lot of his other stuff, but his Daredevil run is amazing. But I think his best work is when he's inked, and this might get me some flack, but I think his best work is when he's inked by someone else. I
don't disagree with that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I think I like Frank's stuff, but for example, if you were to ask me if I like his Wolverine and Daredevil stuff more than his Elektra Lives Again, yes, I like his art better. I think he is an amazing draftsman, but I think his art needs to be smoothed out by another inker.
Yeah, again, no argument. I think that's where that's where comics can highlight the individual contributors is when you see stuff like Giordano's work, even over guys like Perez, you can really feel the weight of Giordano's inks over Perez versus Perez doing himself or someone else.
See, I've never seen Perez doing himself. I've only seen wait, hang on, who did the Crisis inks? Didn't Jerry Ordway do some?
Pretty sure that was I had to look, but it might have been a combination.
I've worked with Renee Witterstater sometimes. Bob Hall is such a nice guy because she recommends him. Jusco is cool. Jerry Ordway's always been nice to me. But Bob McLeod I had on my channel. I had it, one of my favorite interviews I ever did. So because I'm a huge fan of Bob McLeod. New Mutants, I love his character designs. I think he is such an underrated artist, Bob McLeod. I
love McLeod. I still have my New Mutant. It was Marvel. What was it? Marvel Age number 4 when the New Mutants first appeared. I bought that because it was cool looking. I love the cover.
Number 4? Because I know that was Excalibur. I think first appeared in Marvel Age.
No. It was the first appearance in New Mutants, and it was one of those books that. Well, also I actually bought the first appearance of Excalibur in a 7-Eleven, so that's how old I am. But it was what the hell was it called? It was
because I thought the graphic novel was
Marvel
the first
graphic novel. Yeah,
number 4.
Yep. That's the one I had. I bought that as a kid, and I was like, "This is so cool!" And that's what got me into New Mutants.
So, it wasn't Marvel Age; it was Marvel graphic novel.
Correct.
Yeah. No. That's what I thought. Because and that's why I decided because I decided to make the less simple. Because when I have to explain to people what to read for New Mutants, I have to say, no, you start with the graphic novel, then issue number 1. And that's the reason why, even though I'm doing 24-page issues after issue number 1, I said, let's just make issue number 1 big, and then 2 is the next one, just to keep it simple. Was because of that.
Wait, to tie a bow on that, Crisis Inkers were Giordano. It was also Ordway and DeCarlo. So those are Yep. So it was still Giordano because he came over for the Teen Titans days. But yeah,
Al Milgrom.
Another great artist. Yeah,
he can write, pencil, ink, and even colored. I think the first issue of Frank Miller's Daredevil run. He did the only thing he was letter. He told me. Ron Garney, good guy.
Yeah.
Mike Choi, have I met him?
He's got a book on Kickstarter right now, actually.
Mike Choi?
Is it Choi or is it Mike? No, it might be. Hold on, I'll check it. It might be Cho. I'm pretty sure it's Choi, though. Hang on one sec, I'll tell you.
Yeah, tell him.
Gene
Ha. I feel like I've read something.
Pretty sure I am.
Renee. Renee is awesome. I work with Renee.
Setter? Yeah, she's awesome. Shoot. Few and far between. I swore I thought I had it in my Kickstarter saved books, but maybe I don't. Shoot. Well, I suck. But
Dan Pan. Keith Williams is such a nice guy. I'd love to hire Keith for something.
oh, there it is.
Love.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
Terry
Mike Soy.
Cabot. All right,
Here you go.
gotcha. He's
I'll
on
drop it
Kickstarter.
in. Yeah, hang on. I'll drop it into the chat, the private chat. And you can, There it is. That's Choi's book, Gochugaru.
All right, I'll have to find a way to. I'll have to get him at some point on my show.
He's got 3 weeks left on that campaign.
That's
so
awesome.
It looks dope. Yeah, I saved it. I just gotta.
Terry Kavanaugh, nice guy. Carl Potts, met him. He's cool. Paul Kupperberg is so nice. Billy, fuck that guy. No, I'm kidding. Billy's a good friend of mine.
He's a friggin' idiot. He's a kilt-wearing knucklehead. You know, he's about
Say your friends.
5'2".
Billy and Buzz, yes. I cannot
Look at
wait.
that.
That is the
Back
most
to back.
excited. That is
That's
the most excited I've ever, because I cannot wait. So I'm friends with both, like I'm very good friends with both of them. So Billy couldn't do cover for me because he's already backed up on commissions. He was like, Debbie's yelling at me that I'm not doing enough original work. I have too many commissions. So anyway, so I'm friends with both of them. And they both shit on, like they're both good friends. They shit on each other constantly. They both say the other can't draw feet. So one of the things I'm going to make for the art contest, they have to draw a foot in their drawing. I don't know what. I think I might, because he's known for Vampirella. He's known for She. So I feel like I should make them draw Lady Death.
Oh, Polito, yeah, dude.
Like that's the right
the
call.
godfather of crowdfunding right there.
And they have to draw a foot, but I'm gonna make them both because I'm gonna tell Buzz and be like Billy, because Buzz was like Billy's gonna pussy you out, and Billy didn't. Let's see who else. Chris is a nice guy. Chris Campana, nice guy.
I love Chris Campana. Yeah, he did a cover for me too. Great stuff.
Oh, yeah. Jim Salacrup, nice guy. I've worked with him because Renee has like so many people she represents. I actually got my job with Renee in part because I got drunk with her at a bar at Terrificon. Michael Golden, because I work at Michael Golden's booth at a lot of cons. Michael is a great guy. Nicole's a total sweetheart. Art, hung out with Art. Art's been great to me. Man, who else?
Oh, Javon Stokes, I saw that. Yeah, nice.
I'm excited to go there.
It's a good crew, man. Keith.
Rob
Keith.
Macchio.
I worked with Keith
Scott
Champagne
Hanna.
forever. Yeah, Scott Hanna. Yeah, Tom Lynn. Jeez. Yeah, I have
Oh,
it
Vican
on-
Marion. Why isn't he not? Or Vican Marion is such a nice guy. I had him on my channel. Good friend. I'm gonna have him to talk about like Final Fantasy VII because he's a fellow nerd like me. Love Vican Marion.
Yeah, I need to get a Terrificon one of these days. It's on my bucket list of cons to add to
One
my.
of the best. One of the best.
I would have done this year, but it's so unfortunately, so I have a work trip to Vegas the 19th or the 22nd. So doing a con the 16th to the 18th is just not going to happen. So that's why I had to bail out and didn't do it this year. But yeah, maybe next year.
Gotcha. Let me see. How many people we still got watching? 4. I think I might call tonight a little early.
Bro, I'm actually getting tired. So the old man in me is hitting.
All right.
And,
Sounds good.
yeah. No, I appreciate being on. Nice to meet you, Vaughn.
It was great meeting you too. I'm glad you came on. Just your socials, I guess. Everyone make sure to back his book. Check out mine too. And I'm going to play the trail as we head out. You don't need to stay any longer. It's up to you. But I'm going to call it a night here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out. Have a great rest of your night. See you guys. Thank you for helping me hit my goal. God bless. Bye. When the whole world was dragged into World War III, brave men like my father fought on the front lines. And they weren't alone. That was 20 years ago. Now it's up to us to carry on their legacy. And every so often, the earth from which we come gives way for something new, something greater to be born. And with them, even greater threats to face. Phenomenova. For you, Dad. For you.